map, so it's probably like way better than the BL1 one. But
Wasn't
not on
paying
this map, but in
attention.
general.
Okay. There is a war weapon. Don't know what it is though.
Hope it's not the V23R. It'd be cool if the PDW was there. That
The
would actually be pretty cool.
B230 for sure. That's the only weapon we haven't seen.
Damn, dude. If it was the PDW, that would actually be pretty sick.
Yeah, that's true.
That's like the closest to the MPL BO2 has, I think. Or just the MP5, which is
Yeah,
BO1 kind
MP5.
of.
Yeah.
That would definitely be the best, actually. But
There you go. B230,
oh
told you.
no.
That's sick. I like that.
Yeah. I don't know if you could do it on this map then.
Yeah, DT would actually be something that people would consider doing and trying out just to run the strat.
Yeah, because I mean, they're not really thinking about that back then. We didn't have triple trap yet, so I think they
Yeah,
probably would be
early
coming
on.
DT. But then if triple trap gets found out, I wonder what they would do.
That's where
Maybe you
people
could,
might actually even consider playing the BL1 version.
yeah,
Trying it
true,
out on
actually.
BL1.
True.
Because it's not a trade map.
I'm thinking that where trade strat gets developed
Oh
somehow.
yeah.
That's
Yeah,
what I
you
was
could.
originally thinking if you couldn't do fire trap, but
Yeah,
that was
you.
like if it just straight up didn't work, like the
Mhm.
glitch spot.
Yeah, trade strat might emerge faster.
It'd be really hard without the bow, so.
Oh yeah,
They
that's
might have just
true.
had those in these maps anyway, though, because in BO3 Zombies Chronicles, they did add some like BO1 stuff to the box.
I don't
So
think they
maybe
would add
they'd
the
do that
ball.
with this too.
I don't think so. It doesn't
I could
seem like
see
they
it.
took that approach. Zombie Chronicles approach just seems really different from what they're doing here. This seems way more like just resurrection. A little bit different though. And I don't know why they would specifically add the ball. It's a
Well,
very
because
high
it is a
round thing,
utility weapon, so
so they wouldn't add it. Because they never did it
I
with
mean,
Zombie Chronicles. It's just a bomb weapon that nobody liked. Apart from real players.
they added the then they had the no, the Blessing Knife is in multiplayer on BO3. They didn't add that to zombies, so yeah, you're right.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck about the real players.
Yeah. Some trade strat would be a little bit crazy.
Yep, true. But that's it for this. I don't think we need to look at any of this. Intro into 5 Call of Duty Future Warfare. What the fuck is that?
I'm just wondering why this guy
Oh,
uses the M27 in every map, and that wasn't even in most maps in Zombies in BO2. It was only in like Nuketown, I think.
why is this? Why is this a scrapped Modern Warfare? The third mission in the cancelled Call of Duty game, Future Warfare. What the fuck?
When was this supposed to come out?
I don't know. This looks like Modern Warfare 2, and this is using the same assets.
This looks like it like 2014 or something. Yeah.
No, that way before, 2011.
I'm saying it looks like it would be released in 2014ish.
By 2014, not 2011.
Oh, didn't what's it called? Didn't they already have a game in 2011?
Yeah,
I don't know.
they did Modern Warfare 3. But this is using Modern Warfare 2 assets. That's the thing.
Oh, Yeah, you're right with the yeah. I guess it would be like maybe they just did MW3 instead. I don't know.
Really weird. NX1, but I feel like it would be in the 2013. It would be released when COD Ghost releases because of maybe they were developing because sometimes they develop games alongside each other. And Modern Warfare 3, they probably wouldn't need to make a lot for the game in terms of you've already got a lot of repeated assets, blah blah blah. And maybe this is the game that they were super focusing on because I know Pokemon also did the same thing because they released games a lot, and they would have people making games alongside, or there'll be games being made alongside each other. So yeah, you might be right that this is a 2014 release.
Is it, so that's when Ghost came out?
Yeah, end of 2014.
I thought that was 2014. That's why I said that. But
No, that's when Advanced Warfare came out, end of 2014. Because 2013 was BO2 DLC, and then Ghost comes out at the end of that DLC cycle.
I really thought that was 2014 because that's when the isn't that when the PS4 came out?
No, it's 2013.
Oh damn, my timeline's just off then a little bit.
This guy's aim, oh my god! It's like moving like back and forth and just missing the target completely. He probably, I wouldn't be surprised if he's a mouse and keyboard player and just playing like shit. Because this is
Oh
horrendous.
my god.
This is the third mission? Wow. That means they made a lot of this game. Doesn't look very interesting, at least the way he's playing it. Just a
Yeah,
bunch of
everyone's
Modern
messing
Warfare
them.
2 weapons.
It's probably they scrapped it. It just wasn't its own game at all.
What people saying in the comments. The ending was pretty baller, just cutting like that. Got fully voiced and everything. No way it was meant to be just like this. What the fuck?
Maybe this is even older, actually, like pre MW2.
Probably say after MW2. This looks like a complete build of MW2, but a little bit
I mean, it
updated.
could have come before. Do you think it looks outdated?
What'd you say?
I said, do you think it looks updated then?
Yeah. It just
Yeah, I
cuts.
really don't know.
Nice.
I wish there was a frame in the description.
What was the first? Wait, which one did we watch? Into Fire, Visiting Hours, Border, Call of Duty, Future Warfare. What does it look like? August 12th.
First
Private
mission.
Jackson, Ranger Regiment. Your plan is the Rangers. Nice. Now, what's the future about this? This just looks very future. This just looks like Modern Warfare 2. Even like where it's set. Mexico? Oh wow, that's interesting. Where they find the cartels. Yeah, welcome to Mexico or whatever.
See the flag?
Yeah. Wow, on the border? What is it happening in this timeline?
This is crazy. I wonder what's going on.
Cartel war, I guess.
The whole battlefield's already set and everything.
Oh
So,
my. The music is nowhere near as good as MW2's.
I can't even really hear it. I didn't even know there was music.
Yeah. Doesn't have it on that much. I like how
Sounds
reload
like
is
a
orange.
DS menu theme or something for Modern Warfare games.
This is fully built and everything. What the fuck? This actually makes me think this is a 2013, not 2013, this is a 2011 release. But I don't see why it would be, because Modern Warfare 3 is the direct sequel to what happened in MW2.
I'm gonna look it up.
What's in the comment?
Oh, it was worked on between 2011 and 2012, so it was after MW3, I guess.
Okay.
By Neversoft.
Oh, are they gonna have even more studios working on? Wow.
Wired by Activision in 1999. They did Guitar Hero, Tony Hawk. Yeah, I guess they were gonna have another one.
That's really strange. Because the shorter developer cycles are just better for us, because it means we're getting zombies more frequently. And they have less time to just go crazy and fuck it up, because what we want is just zombies to just be this bare bones game mode and have less time to think about ways to ruin it, because they have no idea on what the game actually is meant to be. Only we have the... There's an AK-74U on the floor, interesting.
Oh, they did the extinction mode too, apparently.
Yeah, that they worked alongside Infinity Ward. They did a good job on Extinction.
Yeah.
It's like fully voiced and everything. Moon Base Assault. This is Call of Duty Future Warfare. So they've got new guns now.
Oh, what the hell?
What is these?
What the? Yeah, I was just gonna say, they just merged with Infinity Ward in 2014. That's the end of that. But
I like the breathing. Oh my god, this is the Greg FPS POV. Just... My word. Nice soldiers. Suit status. What? Like I made a knife sound. This is very interesting. Do your duty a little more and the future will take care of itself. Andrew Carnage. What the fuck, that Cargini? I don't even know how you say that name. It's a bullshit name. So I can't say it. And it just goes back there. Wow. This is one of the worst players I've ever seen play a Call of Duty game. He's definitely a mouse and keyboard player. What the? What the? It's a grenade launcher pistol.
Alright.
Then they got 2 shots. The reticule. Oh, they were trying to make Halo. Huh? The Hera.
This would have been interesting in multiplayer. I wonder how that would have looked. Because you have like MW2 guns and these like weird futuristic ones at the same time.
Probably unfinished. This looks pretty early on. Actually, it doesn't. It looks pretty late in, but in terms of they just haven't done a lot of the missions.
Yeah, I was gonna say it said the campaign was almost fully complete.
What?
Yeah.
Okay, that makes my jaw drop. Unless this is just not a build of the campaign fully complete, because it doesn't look fully complete. Like the missions are just cutting out after 3 minutes.
Yeah, they probably would have expanded more. It said like the voice actors could have been stand-ins until they got like proper ones as well.
Mm-hmm.
But I just got linked to this other article they had at the end. It said best zombies maps ranked. I gotta look at this.
Oh, fuck off.
What the? Oh, this is a whack list. They have knocked BO3 knocked specifically in the top 10 or number 11. The fuck? Buried's in the top 5. Yeah, this is whack.
Man, the devs have work to do. What the fuck is this? Greg FPS breathing helmet. Not into that. Hmm. Well, I can't believe we didn't get this.
Oh, so you posted Shang. I didn't actually look at that map though.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Galaxy
let's look at
posted
that.
it. Where is it? Where's the? Oh, I guess he isn't right. Shang DLC 5. That's what I typed in. Maybe I can.
What?
BL2 DLC 5 Shang. Hold on.
Skybox is just black.
Mm.
What the?
Hmm.
Can he not open the doors? Like,
Yeah.
oh wow.
Yeah, this is really unfinished. The most unfinished map. Nothing. That was just a broken BL1 knock. Not even knocked, by the way.
Shang.
Shang. I always found it fascinating that the debris is just the lunar landers. Plus some minecarts. Is that how they got here, the lunar landers? Water doesn't even really move. At least the one on the floor, not lit properly. You should see what happens with the minecart. It does it at the end of the video, I think. The mud doesn't work properly.
Yeah. Okay. Then this works.
Yeah,
I don't think that other guy would have done that. This is a different guy
yeah.
than the other. Yeah. I don't think that guy would have done that.
Man, I'd just be in the first room. Playing zombies as intended.
Kind of sucks you can't turn power on.
Hmm.
If that was like the one thing that worked, it'd be cool.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what the? What the fuck? You just stuck there. What is this noise?
Tell me. Huh.
I can't even. Can you turn it up? Is that like Samantha or something?
I
I
don't
wanted to
know.
hear what that noise was. It doesn't matter.
I always thought the bridge part of the map was the coolest. Shangri-La is a really disappointing map.
Do you think so?
Not from a gameplay perspective, but definitely from just the way the map looks. I really like the theme of the map. When you spawn in, it just
Yeah.
looks very interesting. And then you go to the bridge area of the map, and it's just, oh wow, this is really cool. And then you just go underground, and it's just some Indiana Jones Temple of Doom movie of just mine carts and bullshit, and that's most of the map. And it's just what? You only have, wait, one, two, three, four outside areas like spawn. You have the bridges, or the bridge even, the waterfall. That's free, and then you have the uh, bit that he's looking at right now. That's what he. That's all that you have. Those four areas, and that fourth area I talked about is just a shit area because it's just all in the shade. So the map is most of it is just underground, or at least half of it. I just think that's lame
Right.
because I thought the most
No, I can
interesting
see
part was
that.
like the actual ruins of some lost civilization. And that's the part of the map I wanted to explore. I wanted to explore a lost civilization of ruins and all that. And I've seen cool ruins areas in video games that look sort of similar to this. And gotta say, I much prefer the ruins I found in these other games, not this. The underground sections just look like a mine in Indonesia. I want it to actually look like a ruin on the ground, you know? Because it stops being a ruin and it just turns into an underground part. You notice that? The underground part of the map is just some mine. It's actually an Indiana Jones movie. That wood and everything. Could you tell you're in Shangri-La right now? Like an actual like Shangri-La temple. Uh,
Nah, not here.
Not here. Yeah, no, it's just some shit mine. Such a disappointing map visually. No, now you can. This little. Oh, you probably thought that was just some like stolen statue that some like religious miners put there. Actually, what the fuck are they thinking? Imagine getting all the BO1 World of War on BO2. This game was, and still it was something else. Still is dog shit. This is cool. It's actually insane you got this working from someone who has no idea how this stuff works. Do you think there's a chance there's DLC such as dev kit could build could come to plutonium somehow? Yeah, that's what everyone's thinking. I don't think so because they would need to
Yeah.
decompile the dev kit first. Damn, that sucks. Thank you for responding.
I think it would have been cool if the underground like ruin part led to another outside part. I think that would have been really cool.
Mm-hmm. Probably not. Maybe someday someone can port a World at War custom map onto an Xbox JTAG, as I know it's possible. What makes me curious is that Origins beta. Wait, what makes me curious is that Origins beta. Dams. By the way, it looks so World at War. No one cares. Richthofen and profile picture. Not Natsu. Isn't that some guy from
Fairy
Fairy
Tale.
Tail? Fucking hell, man. You don't even know what that name means, my brother. Damn, it looks so
You're
World
better
at War.
dislike it.
I forgot I could dislike it. Feels so weird these maps in the B. It's so weird, man. That's the same engine. I mean, name wise, yes, but it's clearly not the same engine because it's been worked on. So, it's funny because it's the same IW. Wish I could play this. The pre alpha actually brings back that creepy vibe. Pre alpha. Any info on what this is exactly? Something like Why is everyone relating it to Zombie Chronicles? Because it's way more like BO1 Resurrection. Cinema. Ah, yes!
Like, you got
Finally!
32 likes. Damn.
Similar to Resurrection, BO1 DLC 5 for BO2 was supposed to bring all the BO1 and World at War maps to BO2. It was cut from development because of goals similar to DLC 5 from World at War was cut because Modern Warfare 2. The content was repurposed for BO3 Zombie Chronicles. Finally! No, it's similar to Resurrection. Man, that actually scares me. Why are people relating it to Zombies Chronicles when it's clearly more like Resurrection? It's so clear. Did people just not play back then?
I don't think people even know what that is, to be honest.
Resurrection, what was that?
They just think of it as like BO1 maps. They're just like, oh yeah, like those maps are there too. I mean, because Resurrection did come out at the start pretty much, right? And
Well,
this would have been at like the end of
yeah.
BO2, so in
I
that
mean,
way it
Resurrection
counts.
came out. That was the last DLC.
Yeah, but you could play them at the start if you bought like the
Yeah,
what's it
if you
called?
bought the hardened edition, the
Yeah.
RCXD. That's crazy that you actually got to play all the classic maps at the beginning. Like there were people that are actually playing the classic maps, and then there are other people on the game that just have no access to these maps.
I
Just
didn't even
hey,
know they existed at first. Didn't even know until they came out at the end.
right, and they just release it as a DLC. That's so funny. And had no
Yeah.
multiplayer maps, so they just release
I mean, they
content that
did give
already
it to you with
exists.
man, so I think it's fair at least.
Well, it's not fair for no, it's absolutely unfair. You're paying. I pay for labor, right? And so this labor already existed. I'm not paying for new content. I'm just paying for content that already existed, right?
Well,
And that,
Moon,
yeah, Moon,
like
yeah,
the other
but
stuff, it's the normal DLC, but you also get that on top of it. But I think you should just
no,
get
it's
that
not a normal
anyway.
DLC because you don't get any multiplayer maps.
Oh
Multiplayer
wait,
got screwed.
fuck multiplayer. They have like 40 maps already.
Oh yeah, I don't give a fuck about multiplayer, but the thing is, it's like, would you ever, if a game got, quote unquote remastered, which is just like a texture update or whatever, and then they make you pay what the game cost on release, fuck that, because you didn't put
True.
the labor into actually making that. You just repurpose what already existed. That's bullshit. What the fuck? Why am I paying for that? That's dumb.
That's a little different because I mean that's like the whole new release of a game. These are just for the people that didn't have it from buying the hardened edition.
The
So
content already existed. I don't think it's not like it's not like when you make a new game, you're trying to you're not. I mean, you're obviously trying to profit, but you also need to reimburse the cost that it took to create that game, right? And so you're paying out all your staff from the proceeds of the game. What I don't understand is that now you know the labor is already being paid for, so surely you could just make it cheaper. DLC should not cost as much money. I think that's fairly stupid for it to cost as much money. You already paid all those guys for making that map, right? It's not like these guys are gonna get paid again when this really DLC gets released. They've already been paid. They've already done their work. They might not even be at the studio anymore. So I don't know why they're just gouging money out of us. That's dumb. How'd you activate that menu? I can't seem to open it. F1 on keyboard. If you have it connected, or press back and start on the controller at the same time. Wow. From Riley. Oh, right. That Riley guy's in the description. That was
Riley.
that was the five guy. The first video that was linked, it was on five.
Yeah.
Um, wow, that is.
I'm gonna be right back.
Okay, I'm gonna take a piss. I'm back.
I'm back.
Nice. Faust.
Looking at. Oh,
Rick Toffin.
the theater.
Demon Teddy. That room was always so sick to me. Was such a sick map. Nice. That's such a sick sound. A lab map would have been cool.
A lab map?
Yeah. Guess you kind of have labs in the downstairs. Part 5.
Duries, too. On the, that one, what's it called? The trench area? That's kind of a lab, right?
Not really. Probably storage for the labs. Things that were tested, but it's not an actual
Same with, like,
testing rig.
next to, like, type of hundreds, kind of, but, yeah, no, it's not like a whole map. Yeah, I guess that would have been cool.
Why do they all just want to explore the map? I just want you to see, I just want to see you guys play zombies. That's it. That's all I want to see. I always thought that back area looked so sick under the stairs that go up into where the rock is. Before you get to
Oh,
the
yeah.
stage by going
The
down the
window.
stairs.
The window back there?
The door, that the wide door, the ones
The
that have the
gate?
warning Pikachu on your camo pack that you
Yeah.
use. Yeah, that door, yeah, what just before. It's like behind the cage. There, you see that? With the
Yeah.
door there, yeah. I always thought that was the sickest area. Kino was always the map that I always wanted to see what the outside looked because it all took place inside apart from the AK
The
part.
alley.
Yeah. And so I remember when I first saw people go outside the map, I was amazed.
Yeah, I think I was like that too as a kid. Same, I think 5 has like the coolest outside areas, just because you can explore a lot of it.
5?
Yeah.
Oh, I know what you
I
mean.
mean,
Yeah,
I'm
in
saying
the
just as like a
campaign.
kid, like you can
Oh
glitch out the
yeah.
map and just run around a ton. There's like so much you can do out of the map.
I didn't think there was a lot you could do on 5. I thought it was just that little bit there that you walk
No,
in
there's a
and the
ton of
campaign.
areas you can go into. There's
5?
a ton. Yeah.
Really? Where?
It's not even just that one window. Like I remember glitching on top of the elevators, so you can get on top of the elevators
Yeah, but where can you
from outside
go?
the map. Like you can, I don't remember. I was like
I think you
nine,
there is
10, but
anything.
I just remember there being a lot you could do out there. 100% you can get on top of the spawn area, on top of the elevator and stuff, and run around.
Oh yeah, yeah. This is outside of 5. Yeah, what we're seeing right now is outside of 5. There's nothing there. It's just like all blue. The Rise, by the way. Don't. Fuck, I need to
He's on
restart
that
my
other
browsers.
side too. Oh, oh.
It's lagging. Got too many tabs open. I can't be asked to check which ones I had open. You have to. You totally have to have the fake thumbnail. It's just not that interesting.
From the campaign, but as it turns out, this entire section of the map over here didn't exist in the campaign whatsoever. So this was clearly made specifically for zombies, this whole hallway, as well as this hallway here. And just to explore a bit more, just to show, if I go through this door, well, there's nothing here at all. As you can see, there's no connection between the hallway and that. However, if we go through these two doors right here, this one has nothing, but this one right here has a hallway too. Again, I feel like this might have been thought to be a zombie spawn location, and this whole hallway to have been playable, a way to get around and go to the elevator through this way instead of going the normal way over here. All right, continuing on.
I always loved going out and looking at the clocks.
Right.
I don't know why I was like so obsessed with that. Just all the different countries.
Happened in this room. Yeah, as far as details, we got a repeat of.
But he's not even going over there.
Many other places and other maps such as Kino. And over here back on the bookshelf, we have a book that is labeled Edward Richtofen. So I don't know if this is like supposed to be a memoir for him, but clearly the Pentagon knew about the guy.
What the?
And over on this side, we have a floating piece of paper that comes off the wall. Of course, you can see this easily from inside the map, but I guess you wouldn't really notice that it's floating, but as you get close, it becomes extremely obvious. And back here on this desk, we got a beautiful
Roebuck.
Nixon. I guess this guy must have really liked him, huh?
Haven't seen Roebuck in a while.
A nice picture of Sergeant Roebuck. Of course, that's inside the map over there on that hallway, so that's not too much of an Easter egg.
Yeah, I was gonna say the same ones there.
Chilling out here outside the map as well, and it looks like two zombie spawn locations, right? One back here in the corner, and
that's an evil spawn location.
Quite interesting that this table has collision. Actually, you can stand right up on top of it, and right next to it is a map of the Hoang River in Vietnam. Of course, this is taken straight from the campaign. I can't remember if this was that boat mission, right, where you went down the river, or whether this was the mission where you...
Okay.
Filing cabinets. And what's interesting about this filing cabinets, besides this one that's just lit up for some reason, they're labeled top secret, medium secret, and low secret. That's honestly pretty hilarious. And as for the files inside of them, they seem to be labeled like Demian Git Row. I'm not...
Okay.
Letter in the spawn zombies that seems to be owned by a guy named B-Gen Peters. No clue who he is, but he's got a real nice hallway. There's not too many details on these desks besides more pictures of Dixon, but what's interesting is most of this area has collision. Like every single one of these filing cabinets have collision, as well as the pillars, and that's usually not the case for areas outside the map, so I just thought that was kind of cool to point out. And towards the back, we got this room right here, which is very bright, and it's just chilling with a projector.
That's a cool room. I really like that room.
Right? Chill out. And of course, there's yet another door, so let's just go through it. Is there anything here? No. Inside this little projector room, there's a door as well, and what's interesting about it is on the other side, there is a hallway here. However, the two things do not connect. But in the hallway, there's a door, and it looks like it connects through, but as you can see on the other side, it doesn't. It has some weird dev tricks going on here. I'm not exactly sure why this is like this.
Yeah, I think the thing I thought was cool about this was like everything felt like a normal map when you go outside of it.
They just don't connect the two. Yeah, here we are, this massive room. There's obviously tons of desks in this room, but as far as
like this spot was like crazy as a kid.
Yeah, nothing really going on here, but there are these side rooms right here. So
yeah, this is definitely the craziest place.
Talking about the jungle conflict, right? So referencing, of course, the Vietnam War. I think that's pretty cool how there's like assets in here, of course, that you would never really see, but they're still lining up with what this room is labeled as. And moving on to the next one, we got Russia. And inside of the Russian room is this wooden mock-up of the Berlin Wall.
Oh yeah,
the
these.
Wall, right? So this is like East and West Germany, and it looks like we got walls here and there, and of course like guard towers as well. I'm not sure if this is supposed to be a nod to Kino, or perhaps actually a nod to the multiplayer map that came out as a map pack later on. But it's really cool that this is here. And what's interesting about this room as well, it's labeled Russia here, but in the campaign, it's actually labeled Germany. And another cool little detail I noticed on these portals.
Ooh, what?
Right here, it says in the back, "Thank you for buying Treyarch." Love it. And yeah, yet another Edward Richtofen book chilling back on the bookcase. The next room over is labeled Colonel Scrapper, and Colonel Scrapper's room has absolutely nothing in it. It looks like his desk is missing, and there's only a floating lamp left behind. In the campaign, this room is fully modeled. There is an actual desk in there, but in zombies, it's all gone. And back around the corner here, it's
man, that lamp stopped the Yezi from getting a 2-party. The tragedy, bro. He has to blame it on that lamp.
This is the door that you enter through. You come through the door, and you walk along here alongside Hudson. I think Map in there as well, right? But you walk along here, and you go through, and then down this hallway. But of course, that begs the question, in the zombies map, is there anything behind the door? Let's go ahead and hop on through. It looks like there is. So yeah, there is, but there's not very much. It's just a little box, and behind this box, well, there's nothing at all. So yeah, the rest of the Pentagon is loaded out, and all that remains from that mission, just a little reminder of the past, is this room right here. And over here on
Yeah, I think that's what I was talking about.
I forgot about the server room.
As well as a magazine that says Space Race on it. Kind of cool. There's also a diagram here showing all about it. So clearly there was some preparation.
When does he go to the server room? Is it this?
Other than that, it says Grupo. That's a group, right? I think.
Inner Sanctum.
There's this one right here, and inside of it, there's not much going on. Just a little zombie spawn location. Of course, all of this you can see from inside the map. And as for this one, I'm assuming it's probably the same, and it looks like it is. But hey, we got George Washington. There's also this door right here, chilling next to Rick Toffin in the blank picture. Interesting details, just, you know, the break room. That's about it. And continuing past that, we got this window back here. Let's hop on into it. Looks like this is like some dude's desk, but other than that, here I can buy the stakeout, and everything is as normal. Usually when you don't buy a door, all the
It goes in right after this.
Not exactly sure why they do that, but I'm assuming it's to save on resources. But kind of cool to see that here on 5, it's not like that at all. And of course,
5 is such a sick looking map. It's definitely one of the best looking maps, I think.
Other than that, and right over here, I'm assuming this is the same. It's not at all. This is a massive room. Wait, so there's a massive server room back here for seemingly no reason. I mean, you don't really get to see very well into it. I mean, I suppose at the windows, right?
I love how it gets progressively darker when you go farther into the room. It's something that Pokemon Reborn did with a puzzle like that.
Not at all. Yeah, there's no details in this room whatsoever. I mean, there's like a chair sitting here, but other than that, that's it. There's nothing else. It's just a massive server room. And hopping on over to the other side, we have a couple more windows to check out. Let's hop into this one. Looks like we got like, I don't know, is this like a tape? I guess this is where they play the tapes, huh? And there's no collision with any of this, which is very normal, so it just kind of hints at how strange like things like that server room are. And there's also a door here that has like a black wall texture, so I'm assuming there's nothing on the other side. And I'm
5 is probably a map that had a lot of cut content because it is quite a different map because the progression is very linear. It's very unlike what came before. It's probably the first map that changed from the sort of Shino Numa way where you have multiple ways to progress through the map. It starts with 2 and then it turns into 4. And Darius also had multiple ways you could go, and that would also split into the more multiple ways. That one leads to a dead end, the other leads to power. And then there's even more with Kino, but it's just 2 different ways that connect, like Darius. And then 5 is just linear again. Like, actually, like no other map is really long like that. Or it's just a bunch of doors that are just linear. Really strange.
Because Varrock is also like that, where you don't really have a lot of side doors in Varrock, but you do have like the connecting part with it.
Yeah, it connects. And I guess you can choose. You can't really choose in terms of which way you buy, but you choose where you spawn. Let's just restart until you spawn at the right place. So yeah, it's a very different map, which makes me think, did they just want it to be different, or is it just unfinished?
I probably wanted it to be different. I mean, it might be a little mix of both, because a lot of the outside areas, like he's saying, is they have collision, so it seemed like they actually did want to do more with it, but at the same time, it's the first, like, original BO1 map, right?
No.
You know, it's supposed to be in World at War, right?
Oh yeah, I thought you meant something else by that.
No, it's, like, designed for BO1, so maybe they were trying to do something different with it.
Possibly, which is lucky that we got Kino in BO1, because I like the traditional Kino over whatever the fuck 5 was, until the high rounds came out, and I actually really like the high rounds.
What are we even looking at right now? I'm so confused.
That was the campaign, I'm guessing.
Oh.
Just JFK chilling and thinking about his life. And here we are, the good old basement. There's tons of things to check out here, so let's go ahead and just get to it. Through this window, we can see, well...
It doesn't call it labs?
I think he's fallen and he can't get up.
I've fallen and I can't get up.
Same exact model. Containers here, but I'm not entirely sure. And the gun rack waiting to be used. And another really strange detail that there's no way you would notice unless you went outside the map. There's a box inside of the locker here, which it's just another one of these boxes. There's nothing too interesting about it. You guys will have to let me know. Obviously, I don't know a ton of the storyline stuff, so there's
that's
cool.
More
behind this. But yeah, let me know down in the comments. I'm sure you guys know way more than me. Alright, continuing past the AK-74U wall by, we have a window all the way over here.
I always thought that bloody corner was so sick.
A lot like some of the transit space that's underneath the bank. We even have the Fallout Shelter logo as well as those cages that are in transit too. Kind of strange. But yeah, there's not much detail in there. If we go ahead and go on past it, we have another window all the way back over here. Let's hop on into it. And again, this looks a lot like transit. So I guess they really did pull assets from 5 and put it in that map. But yeah, we got a pile of zombies chilling here in the middle and a bunch of these canisters, which I mean, I have no idea what's going on with them, but they got Russian lettering. Maybe I'll go ahead and put up Google Translate for you so you can know what that means. But yeah, it looks like some kind of biohazard weapon. I'm assuming again, maybe Nova 6. As far as other details, there's not much going on. Just a couple of zombie spawns right there and over here. And lastly, we got the pig room. Let's see what's going on here. Hey, buddy. Oh man, I feel like he's real miserable, you know? Well, we got a couple more windows in here.
Ciao, Crash. Bye-bye.
And inside of here, we can see there's a whole bunch more pigs. Yeah, I don't know what the Pentagon was doing with pigs. Obviously, right, they were kind of animal experimentation, seeing what like Nova
Those
Scotia is,
pigs
as
are
well as on the
dark.
timeline. I think that's how, like,
What
Nova
pigs were
Scotia is
pink?
as well as like Denizens. You guys are gonna have to correct me. I'm sure you guys know way more about the storyline, but this is a pretty cool room, right? There's a little area back here for zombies to spawn, as well as over here. Not exactly sure which one they use, but they're both chilling. And as far as other details, well, there's not much. This desk does have collision, which is kind of cool, as well as the pigs. So I don't know what these compounds are, but yeah, this thing is completely flipped and mirrored. Like, it's not the correct direction at all. All the text is backwards. Actually, looking at it now, you like barely can even see that too. Kind of a weird little Easter egg just chilling around the corner. And standing above the teleporter room right here, we can see
Maybe it turned the other way around, sort of how some textures turn the other way around. We stand far away from him, like the mule kick. Probably you can see it from here. No, it's the right way up. No, it's the right way up. Yeah, it does happen on BL1 where it turns upside down.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever noticed that. You were talking about that the other day?
Is it Abracadabra? Oh, no, it's just probably the instrumental it was based off of. I really like the instrumental for Abracadabra. Huh.
What the?
What? His hand.
Hello everyone and welcome to Black Ops 2. Today we are taking on the
Big victory. I can never read this as a kid. Didn't even know what the fuck it meant. Now that I look at it, I do know what it means. Maybe that's why these games were 18 plus?
Starting off right at the beginning of the mission, we're met with a burning body inside of a vehicle. A very dramatic scene as Mason tries to kick the window open. And using a bit of no-clip, we can get a strange perspective on this from inside the vehicle itself. Doesn't seem like he has a ton of room in here. Also, just behind Mason are multiple panes of glass, seemingly with different levels of breakage to it. And I imagine that these are applied to the windshield as Mason tries to break it open. And
Oh, I forgot about this part.
One of the trucks, which its wheels are just spinning in circles.
I haven't played the BO2 campaign in so long.
Right out of the ground. Kind of wild.
Right.
All these soldiers that pop out of the ground are simply just stored underneath.
One of my favorites.
When they slide on up. We also see his sword just float through the air until it finally attaches to his back, as well as the grenade launcher that he'll be using later
His sword? You mean machete?
Underneath the ground here are also
What the fuck?
AK-47s that I imagine are used for the NPCs here. They probably grab them once it's time to start charging the battlefield.
This was such a sick intro to BO2. Where even are you? I wonder what country this is.
Like Africa, right?
Angola, okay. Africa's not a country, my brother. This is so sick! You are leaving the combat zone? This was definitely a very different campaign mission from what you usually got. You never got something this wide open with this many enemies just sort of going in.
Yeah, it felt like warfare for real.
Yeah. Well, at least open field warfare, which, at least for the most of history, that's how it looked like.
Yeah, this is more like what I imagined as a kid when I was thinking about like war. Just like
Yeah, same.
two trenches and just like people running at each other.
Oh, there's no trench here. It's all just natural.
Just terrain, just not, yeah, like.
Yeah. Don't know if they would use trench warfare.
Yeah, not like that. I'm thinking like World War One.
Yeah, World War One, trench. And even before that.
So obviously, I'm not thinking as a kid. I'm not thinking 2025 BO2 timeline.
Right, yeah.
Like World War One stuff.
I don't even really know how combat looks like these days. Honestly, I'm not even really that educated on World War One. All my history and knowledge is before that. I never was really interested in World War One combat. It looked really dumb.
Oh, I don't know about the combat, but I thought World War One was like one of my favorites.
Interesting.
One of my favorite parts of history, I guess.
What you like about it?
Just like intrigue. I don't really remember like what really got me interested in it, but maybe it was just playing. I don't know. I remember reading like a book about it a long time ago.
Right.
Like how it started and stuff.
I always hated anything past 1800s once photographs started taking place because all the content of the era is just black and white in World War One. I like the Napoleonic era so much better because you just even look at the uniforms, right? That's when the uniforms start to become more terrain based.
Yeah,
Uniforms,
and
1800s, France.
I guess I just like the weaponry a lot. Like World War One was when that started getting developed a lot more,
Right.
and I thought that was cool playing Call of Duty and stuff.
Oh, Call of Duty and World War One, is that?
Well, I'm saying like I thought like guns were cool playing Call of Duty and stuff, and World War One was when those started getting like developed more. I started seeing
Gun?
guns that I could like recognize.
Right. What guns were even? Well, I guess that would look more like what you would recognize, yeah. But definitely, uh, I definitely think World War One. I'm still like French uniform.
I think you were showing me this the other like a week ago or something.
Yeah, I always thought. Oh wait, there's like an actual direct comparison. Uh, the West. So what is it? So this is the Englishman, the Belgium. I'm guessing these are the French. I remember. I don't know. I don't know if you knew, but they initially went there with red trousers, and then they realized that was such a stupid idea, so
Yeah,
they
it's
got rid of
retarded.
that real quick. Red red pants became an issue pretty quick. There's a guy in the pic wearing bright green, red, and yellow. That must have been a sight to behold on the battlefield, especially mass charges. That would look like a wave of Skittles attacking you with poke sticks. Oh my god. Yeah, this is just way worse. I have to say, I'm not as interested in World War One the way it looks like, the uniforms. It's just like very contemporary. Just what you, it actually looks quite similar to World War Two. But then you look at the base. Man, that's even older. What the fuck is this? Is like 1700. Maybe this is like late 1700s or something. I don't know. I thought this was like way too, like it looks so extra, you know. They got fucking swords and white trousers, like black boots. Uh, pretty pretty feminine. They definitely put a lot of effort into their fashion. Like, look at this. You're like,
Unfortunately, you can't really do that. World War One.
yeah, no, the gun technology was just way better. Guns are just nowhere near. Well, no, this is like flintlock era. It's just, you know, way
Mm-hmm.
more. Yeah, it was just way more
Takes
in
like
terms
10
of.
minutes to reload. Like,
Yeah, it's not 10 minutes, but it takes maybe taking like 15 seconds per reload per shot. The shots are super inaccurate, so you have to line up. So you have the benefit of having the recognizable colors because well, build a sense of camaraderie. You also have who is recognizable to you. It's not like you're gonna have a sniper 50 miles away, so it doesn't really matter that you're recognizable. Yeah, see, it's just black and white. Yeah, man. Yeah.
but I think I just always thought it was cool, like the way that World War One started, just like that, just made everything go to shit, like that one event.
Oh, you talking about the Black Hand assassinating Franz Ferdinand?
Yeah.
I mean, I don't think that one event made what it was always gonna happen. At least I say was always gonna happen. I mean, yeah, if you're taking a super deterministic look, but in terms of like all the events leading up to it, any event was gonna make World War One start. Maybe it would have turned out different in terms of how it initially started, but yeah, that shit was always happening.
Maybe
One.
not though. I don't know. That was
Uh,
just what triggered it, right?
Oh, 100% it was happening. The Austro-Hungarian Empire was disintegrating, um, because of ethnic nationalism that was arising, and people just wanted to emancipate themselves. They wanted their own country. This was sort of the culmination of everything that happened after the French Revolution, that sort of nationalism spread all across Europe, and so Germany becomes united in 1871 and becomes the strongest state in Europe after they just destroy the French, um, in the Franco-Prussian War, and um, Austria is now so Austria was just a multi-ethnic empire. It was massive, and it had a bunch of different people groups in there, and the actual heartland of Austria in terms of, the where the rulers are from, just not that big. As you see, Austria is just tiny today. It's no, it's like maybe like 5 or 6 times ten, maybe even 10 times the size. The actual Austro-Hungarian Empire. So you had like Croats and all these types of people, and so you had a lot of political violence happening, with these people trying to set up their states, and the Austro-Hungarian Empire being more of just like, oh yeah, we'll give you some rights, because it became the Austro-Hungarian Empire. Originally, it was just the Austrian Empire. So they were sort of divvying out the rights, but people were like, no, we just want our own country because of like sort of like nationalism along, what language you speak, and ethnic lines. And so that was that was always going to be a point where Austria felt threatened and wanted to do war. Germany wanted to do war, because Russia's military was reforming at the time, and so they were so ready to go to war with Russia because they were threatened by Russia. And so World War I was always going to happen, where it was going to be this deadly war that nobody expected, because the previous eras of warfare were just really clean and quick and never really went for that long. And they didn't really anticipate just how much technology would have changed warfare. That's why France went to war with red trousers.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were just not prepared for what that war was going to be. No one was. It wasn't a war that it wasn't a war like previous wars. It wasn't like the Napoleonic era where things were, it's like, oh, like a really quick campaign of armies moving really quickly and all that. No, it's just this really bum war. Trench warfare, just mass deaths, because the technology is just so good. Yeah, I'm not interested. No thanks. No, this is a map. Oh no, this is World War II. Facts for children. I don't give a fuck about World War II either. I don't know that much about it.
Oh, World War II is sick to me too. But every time we never got to talk about it in school because I swear, like, every history class I had, we would start at like the 1700s, and then we would spend the whole year just getting through the 1800s, and then we would always end at World War One, like maybe like halfway through it. We'd never make it to World War II because the teachers didn't know how to manage their time, I guess.
Whoa, that is
So
so different from how
it would
school
happen.
was taught.
Yeah, no, we would literally have it every year. We would just go through the same periods of history like every year.
What?
And yeah, until I took a AP US history class, and then it was the same thing again because I didn't have a world history option for that, so I would have
Oh,
taken world
you have
history if I
your
could have.
own history separate?
Yeah, there's a class for US history, and I wanted to take world history, AP world history, which is like college level classes. I wanted to take that, but they didn't have it at my school, so I had to take US history.
Oh, we just had history and that's it. And we just learned everything. Actually, no, we learned it's like fairly British centric. It's not like we're learning like, oh yeah, Battle of Sekigahara in Japan. It's like, no, we're not learning any of that.
Right.
But
I think I had one class that was world histories in ninth grade, so I don't really remember anything from that, but
right.
yeah, that was one of my more favorite classes, I guess, but
Wow,
I didn't
that's
really do anything that cool in there. So
that's really interesting because our history was very World War II centric. That's all we learned about, and it was bum to learn about World War II over and over
Really?
again. I really hated learning about it. And we never, I hated history in school. I thought it was always just one of the worst subjects because what we learned about was never cool. It was never cool. Actually, learning about Hitler was fun. I really liked learning about Hitler and his rise to power, and then the death camps. That was really fun. I always wanted to see the boy in the striped pajamas when I was a kid. I always thought that the
Oh,
premise of that movie was so sick. I never got to see it. I don't know
I
if it's
remember in my
yeah,
my
go
English class we did like a play or something. I don't know. It wasn't like a play, but we were like doing a read aloud of this book that had to do with Anne Frank or something, and like everyone was playing a character. And I remember I played her dad, and
right.
like
Oh,
everyone died but me or something.
oh wow,
It's like
that's
it's like the main thing I remember.
right. We did that in drama where we did an acting out of Anne Frank's diary. Yeah. Oh, yeah, I always thought that was the most interesting was just the sort of persecutions of, minorities in Germany and then like Hitler's sort of charismatic rise to power. I always thought that was easily the best part, the highlights of World War II for me. And I was like, oh, what was going on in Britain? And I didn't even remember anything about World War II. It's only recently I found out
World War
that
II is crazy to me.
when
I always thought that was like the coolest one actually, even more so
interesting.
than one, because like there was just a lot of events that were happening. Like it was probably the most important war in history,
Well, I mean, yeah, it would be for us because
from
that's
my
like the last
perspective at
major
least.
war. That's the
I
last
mean,
major war.
it's mostly just because like again, like if Hitler did take over, like everything's just way different. It's like definitely one of the most important wars, but also we had like nuclear stuff being developed at the time. So I mean,
Right.
yeah, it just kind of is like
No,
the
it's
most
important.
grand scale war.
It's important for us now because that's like the last war that happened. But
Hmm.
if you're, Vietnamese and you're getting completely, bombed out by the US, I think that's probably like the most important war for you. Like some fucking
Of
rice
course,
farmer getting.
I'm trying to look at it from a more grand scale perspective, where it's like everyone as a whole. But yeah, like just thinking, world like there's a lot that I remember. I think I don't remember which class I learned about World War II in, because there was one that we actually did learn about it. It might have been like eighth grade. No, it would have been. I don't know what it would have been, but yeah, they would always focus on the concentration camps and stuff, and I didn't really like learning about that. But
Oh, that's the
obviously,
opposite for
we
me.
learned about Pearl Harbor
We did not
a
learn about
lot,
that.
pretty much every time, because of course U.S. So we got involved, obviously.
Yeah. Yeah, that's probably a footnote in our textbook. Just yeah, I didn't learn
How,
about
bro?
that.
That's like super important.
It's super important for you guys. What the
It,
fuck?
it is pretty important though. That's how we got involved in the war. World would look
Yeah.
way different if that didn't happen.
Oh, well, it'd be
Nah,
absolutely differently
stuck
because
around.
World War Two, US had the largest industry. Like that was what won.
Hmm.
They carried the war in terms of just being able to just from a production perspective, yeah. I can't believe France got just learning that France just completely got destroyed. I had no idea that France just half the country just got subsumed into Germany, and then there was just Vichy France down south, and it was just some bum state by who's the line of Verdun? Fuck, I forgot his name. Line of Verdun. It's like World War. Oh yeah,
I'm
Philip
just.
Petain, where this is
Mhm.
like World War One hero that you hear about, like Verdun, one of the biggest World War One battles, or at least one of the most famous ones, probably the biggest, probably one of the biggest just because it's famous too. But you just have him in the south just running this like appeasement, like, oh yeah, we're friends with Hitler, like bum state. I was like, what? France lost big, and I didn't realize it was like they had massive demographic because they got super fucked up in World War One. They lost so much of their demographics that after a certain year in the 30s, they were just only getting like half the recruits they were meant to be getting because the demographic collapse was so big, and so that was what shifted shifted a lot of. That's what informed a lot of their policies on doing. What was it? What was the line that they defended? I forgot what the line was. Like, I don't give a fuck.
I don't remember.
But yeah, that was like one of their. That's what informed that whole like sort of defensive philosophy. Because they just didn't have the manpower, and they thought the defensive encampments would actually do them well. I had no idea that France got destroyed. Wow, that's so fucked.
I want to go back and learn about all this shit in history because I don't know why, but looking back at school, like I don't remember even like paying that much. Like I was paying attention, but like everything just sounded fake. I don't know if you can relate to that, but
oh yeah, no, 100%. But not when I was older. Yeah. It was definitely when I was really young. It was. I remember it was a year 3, so it would be 2009. I was 7 years old, and we were learning about Rome. I believe. I'm just like, man, like people like lived for a king. It seems so fake. Well, actually, Rome didn't have a king; it had an emperor, but it's sort of like very similar premises, and it just seems so bum to me. Actually, what interested me was I just wanted to go. I was like, wait, what happens if the year reaches like really low? It's like 7 AD. I'm thinking like, what the fuck? Like, what happens? And there was one where it just went into like a different. It was like BC. It went to BC. It was like the Celts and or something. And I was like, what the fuck? Like in this textbook, so I was scrolling through it. I was like, the Celts? Like, what is this BC shit? That really intrigued me.
Yeah. BC. I remember I used to joke about that a lot because I knew what it was, but I would pretend like I would make this joke about like not knowing that it was like 0 to now. Like there was stuff before that.
Right.
I used to use that joke a lot in like the 6th grade, but wasn't it like 7, like Pompeii, like year 7? Was that when that stuff was happening? That's the only thing I remember from that era. Like the volcano.
Oh yeah.
It was like year 8.
Hold on, Pompeii. No Pompeii. Volcano eruption date 79 AD.
Damn.
There you go. We'll see. Go fuck what years, but yeah. Jesus Christ. Yeah, we learn about. I don't know why this is so famous. This is so bum. Yeah. There are some things that we learned that are just so bum. There was I remember the 1666 Great Fire of London. This is something that we learned about. That was so boring. Oh my god.
That's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's like wild. It's like so much of the city just burnt down. Oh my god.
Jesus.
Yeah. Pretty big for London, I guess. Yeah, it was absolutely insane.
Maybe I did learn about this, I just forgot.
Oh, we learned about the Black Death in year 7. I remember that, so that would have been 11.
I learned about that a lot, yeah.
That was really bum, and maybe I just didn't really remember the interesting things because they weren't pertinent to me. But learning about how the peasants just gained more bargaining rights because there were fewer peasants, and so there was sort of, and so much of the country was depopulated. There would be the country lords would be fighting to get the labor because there's now a massive labor shortage in comparison to the land that there is. And so these guys have more bargaining power. That's really interesting. That makes that era seem way more interesting to me now. But I thought the bubonic plague was also bum. I hated learning about that, like the plague doctors and like the ring around the rosy little rhyme that that apparently originated from that era. Just bum history, man. The plague doctors look cool, by the way, where they put roses in their little I say little, those big like claw noses that they had. Yeah,
big
that looked cool.
Mask?
I don't know what it's called. Plague doctor.
I remember this being like really creepy.
Jesus. It looks sick though. Yeah, fucking hated this too. I hated everything about history. I remember the Spanish Armada. That's what we learned. Um,
One thing I remember though, because I'll let you go on about this first.
no, I just hated learning about this too. I thought it was really bum.
We're gonna talk about the one thing I remember is like the War of 1812 and like
Oh yeah.
how that wasn't even like supposed to happen. Like the last like few months of the war were just like continued for no reason, even though the war ended actually. But like there was people still fighting for like months because there was no like transportation method that was fast enough. So like there's a lot of people that just didn't know the war ended, so they were still fighting.
Yeah, that happened. That happened in wars all the time.
Yeah, I can imagine.
Yeah, it's like you just didn't have a telegram back then. That you had no like railway. Yeah, it's just wild. Oh my god. Yeah, the Spanish Armada was so whack to learn about. It's like, oh yeah, Spain sent a massive armada. Oh, that's cool. I didn't know Britain also sent a armada to Spain, and it also got fucked up. I don't even know what it's called. 1588. That's when it was. Okay, English. What was it? The English
Oh,
Armada.
this is not gonna take long, but I always thought the Boston Tea Party was like them literally just dumping tea in the ocean or something, or not. No, I thought it was like a big party where people were just drinking tea when I was like 8. I thought that was what it was.
I still don't know what it
Said
was.
that
To me,
backwards.
that's what it was. I don't have no idea what the fuck it is.
It was something to do with tariffs and like they dumped tea in the ocean to like prove a point or something. They didn't give a fuck.
It's big
Making a
scary.
stand. Yeah. I think the other idea is more interesting of just them drinking tea together in a
Oh,
party room or
facts.
something.
Yeah. Oh my god. Yeah.
1 second, I'm gonna be right back. I'm gonna
Alright.
do something.
What the fuck does this mean? You want to receive? Is this you want to receive? No, it's Itazura. Oh, I know what Itazura. This is why you need space Japanese, because how the fuck am I actually meant to just yeah, okay.
You
What the
on deck?
yeah. just getting confused by reading Japanese. Just got confused again because there's no spaces, so I thought that was want to. But then no, this is just Itazura is always written in kana, so I thought it was Thai form, like want to form. Fucking no space, having language, you serious? And what the fuck is this? Mole? Mogura. What the
I think I
fuck?
just learned my first like random ass word today on Anki
What?
that I'll never use. I don't remember what it was. It was like, oh, what was it? I have to look. This one?
Ipikira. I mean, I know what this says now. It means start from the beginning. Received mischief mole, one kind of. And then Zen Kuriya, Kuri. Wait,
Oh, I
Kuri?
found it.
The fuck?
Yeah, I learned Buddhist temple.
Oh yeah, Teta.
Yeah, I don't know when I'll ever use that, but
Yeah, but you'll see it a lot. I
Really?
guess. Well, a lot of Japanese culture just uses a bunch of Japanese sort of historical things. So, like, let's say if you're playing a game that's just set in Japan and there's a Buddhist temple, you
right.
might see that kanji.
It was just I think it was just in hiragana, but
Oh,
wait,
really?
was it?
Can be. It should look like a Jikan, but just simpler. Doesn't have the right radical or whatever.
Oh, no, you're right. You're right. Yeah, looks like that. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. I wonder. That
I'm tripping because I was looking at the like hiragana reading to notice
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, it doesn't have the I don't know what the fuck the
Yeah,
radical is called. What is this? Oh, just sun. Yeah. I can read this now. This is meant to say, when you know a language enough, so you know when something is spelled incorrectly, instead of just like, oh fuck, I'm gaslighting myself. Like, what does it mean? Because I would have been freaking out. It's like, wait, what the fuck does this mean? But it's like, oh no, this just means Zen Korea. It's meant to be an A there, like all clear, because I've seen that multiple times. And then shita means doing, and then mita. Actually, I don't know what that means. Together with. Wow. I thought it was Ishoni. Yeah, Ishoni. That's means together. Ishoni or fuck is the reading for that? I've got the kanji in my head. Oh, yeah, it's Kyoryoku. Another one, corporation. But I've never, I mean, it's archaic. It's showing up as archaic, which I already know that's bullshit. It's like, oh yeah, you just have like a nonsense word for, oh, motto? Oh, now it's different? Oh, okay, nice. Fucking cunts, man. Okay, I know what this means. I learned this before. Matome. That means summary. Matome. Settlement, conclusion, summary. And then obviously Zen. This is all parts. Zen pen, or it could be Zen pen. Zen pen. Okay. I hate how it changes because that's just hen. But it changes the reading. The reading changes. Like, yes, thank you, Japan. Same with this. This one character means hiki, but when it has one in front of it, it's ipiki. Ipiki. Fucking hell. And it turns out if you put one in front of a lot of words, that happens where they just change it radically changes how the word is pronounced. It's really
I've gotten
stupid.
a few of those already.
That makes me lose my
Monkey.
fucking mind. Oh, wait, is it Mita? Yep, what does it mean? I'm not. No. Doesn't even come up. So this thinks it's saying together with. And this is another problem with Japanese too. When they only use hiragana words. How the fuck am I meant to know what this means? Does it mean together with? Is this... It means so many different things. Fuck you, by the way. So all clear doing. And then together with all parts. Suggestion? What the fuck? Sorry, that's not suggestion, that's summary. Summarizing all the parts. Or there's a summary for all the parts. I'm guessing that's actually what that means. Hey, we can just throw it into Google Translate. A summary of all the videos I tried. That's probably... Okay. That just means all... That's really weird how that's... It's translating that correctly. That's really funny because that is... Maybe Google also knows it's a spelling mistake. Or maybe that's just a shortening. Maybe it isn't even a spelling mistake. Fuck, I hate this language, man. Too complicated for me. What? That's a morao? Morao? How'd you pronounce it?
Morao.
Morao. So that's usually written in kana. You probably already had that word, morao.
Yeah, I had that one probably a month ago.
That's only written in... Yeah, it's only written in kana. And this is the kanji version. Nice, by the way. Just thank you. This is my childhood game. Oh, the strafe that happened to get him in the arse. That crazy movement.
I forgot we were gonna talk about something last night. Was it like React or something?
No, but I was gonna talk about something today. Okay, what does this mean here? Boss, Goremo. So it's saying, yeah, the boss here is Golem. Wow, Matome. Oh, sorry, Matomo. What does that mean, Matomo? Oh, another word.
What
I don't
did you
know.
want to talk about though? You said you want to talk about something?
Oh yeah, I was thinking of making a game. It's telling
really?
EXE this, yeah. Another kind of only one. Yeah, so I was thinking of I talked to EXE about it. I just brought up the suggestion just off the top of my head because I've always thought of making a game just because I like game design. I think people that make strats in video games are game designers because if you never made strats in a game, then the game would never have been as complex or deep or interesting. And so, and you have to understand a lot about the game and how the strat... To make a strat, you have to understand, like a complicated strat, and to make it feasible in a game that has the restrictions. You have to put a lot of thought and time into understanding the mechanics that go into making that strat work in terms of, like, let's say, like, just with a trade strat, for example, economy, strafing to pap, and all the different box locations. Like, you're thinking about a lot, and especially mechanics wise too, with box error, and obviously like points and how many zombies you're shooting through. The fact that it's like 3 zombies. Like, I know that just from trying to optimize that strat, because before, when I started, that points, getting to 130, playing full trade strat was considered godsend.
Yeah.
It's like, what the fuck? I made 700k camping? Like, this is a good game. Yeah, that's just not even a thing nowadays. But yeah, I thought, because I understand a lot about game design in terms of, now that like my perspective of game design, obviously going to be very limited from consumer from the consumer perspective, because I am a consumer. I've never made a game before, but I've thought a lot about because I'm very unsatisfied with a lot of things, and so I obviously, like with BO3 and everything, like I'll have justifications to why I'm unsatisfied with something. It's not just like, oh yeah, it's just a feeling, bro. Like it just doesn't feel good. Like asking EXE why, like, what do you think is bad about Monster? Oh, the YouTube videos didn't tell you that one, did they? So you can tell me.
Yeah.
And I definitely I think I understand what I want in a video game, and I I I think I would understand how to make a intriguing video game, right? And so you already know that I'm also hi, the guy in the chat. I actually happen to be looking at the chat right now, so hi, Blue Name. But I'm very interested in having like a blank slate game. Like on zombies, you just start from, like you're the same guy that you started, when you were like 9 years old.
Yeah.
Like loading the same game up. That is so sick to me. I think that whole philosophy that you can just come back and play a game and it's just the same thing from the beginning.
Yeah.
In a game that's designed to be played from the beginning, many times over, is very interesting to me. And so
Would you
I was
make
thinking,
it like survival or something based?
I was thinking of making a I don't know if you know what like roguelikes are, like Binding of Isaac. I'll throw some gameplay up just so.
Yeah. I don't know.
Let's type it in. Let's type it in Japanese. Binding. Oh. Okay, I had there was like a Japanese one. Wait. Is D not a word? It just comes up with chi. Who the fuck cares? Actually, I know how to get it up. Binding. Isaac. Oh, that's. I hate how the spaces are so big. That's not what I want. I don't want. I want situations, man. It's definitely. How have I've not got the word wrong, have I?
Someone texted me.
Okay.
On my phone real quick. Sorry.
What the fuck is the? What is the real circumstances? What is the jutsu? But there's one that's with Kyo. Wait, hold on. What is battle tactics? It's like Sen, Kyo. Not battle. It's not battle tactics, but this one character here. I swear I saw this character appear next to Jitsu. Like truth. I guess it's not a word, but I swear I saw it come up, which is really weird. This came up right here. That's the same fucking character. Are you fucking serious? Are you serious right now? Yeah. That's not even a real word though. Is that just the name of? Oh, it's Jikyo. Oh, because the 2 disappears. Oh, because 2 and K don't usually make. That's like really inconsistent, but yeah, okay, that's cool. Bye. Bullshit, by the way. Jikyo. Yeah, but this is the game basically. Are you here or did I just?
Yeah.
Okay. The game is sort of a roguelike game, so you spawn in as a character that you choose, and then you basically make your way through the game. So this is a boss door, and you fight the boss. So yeah, this is the boss. You got the snake thing. You play as a who cares about the story? But I think it's funny that you're playing as some like cult hanger abortion that failed. That's what you play as. Yeah. And you're basically going through the basement of your house because you're like an abused child and you kill your mom and then you have to kill your mom's heart because you go into her uterus. It's a really dope game in terms of there's just a lot. You just spawn in from. It's not exactly like you're spawning in as if it's the same the same game every time. No, you do actually unlock things, but you don't unlock things for your character. Actually, you can unlock things for your character, like the D6. That's something that you actually unlock, but that's just one thing you unlock for the character. The things that you do unlock, you can unlock more items that you can find. And it's basically a very RNG based game where you just put builds together, so there's like a lot of build synergy, and I don't know what the fuck he's got, but you can already tell it's really fucking broken. And that's what a lot of the games can turn into.
So it's kind of like DOA in a way.
Okay, yeah, so I'm glad you came with that because I don't even need to make that segue. So I wanted to make a game where it's more I don't want it to get to the point where you can just in this game you can get really broken and OP, but I want to make like a DOA game where it's sort of, you're in a room and then, you have to sort of kite the zombies and, have good movement. I really enjoyed my time playing DOA. I think it's a really fun game mode to play. And I think that DOA is a little bit bare bones in terms of you just go in one direction. Especially DOA 1 is quite rudimentary in terms of you only have one, you only have like one route to go through everything, and when you get into the arena, it's usually the same thing across the whole thing. And so I wanted to make a game a little bit more dynamic than DOA, but still having sort of like a very DOA philosophy of, still fairly bare bones, but having more customizability in terms of the things you find, the areas you find, and everything like that, right? But I don't want there to be any progression. I want it to be you spawn in and you start from the same place, right? That's cool to me. So I was thinking, how would you make progression in a game like this? Where, and I'm not talking about player progression, but there's an actual, what you call it?
Like rounds, kind of?
Well, no, I mean, as in, when you start from the beginning again, what's different about the game, right? And I don't want there to be anything, at least the gameplay different about the game, because that goes against the philosophy I like about DOA and just BO1 in general. It's just, hey, you spawn in and you as a player are different. And so instead, I thought, okay, I actually came up with a really good way to add progression into the game. And
what would that be?
Yeah, all right, so I was thinking, right? So I was thinking in terms of the theme of the game. This will get back onto the progression I'm thinking of. So the theme of the game is sort of you come in. Let me put the show 'em up. Is you and a group of people are on a some flying machine, and I want it to be, the sort of era that it's based in is going to be, okay, the whole Earth hasn't been explored yet, but it's going to be a very distinctly different universe. It's not going to be the Earth, so it's not going to be like, oh yeah, they landed on America or whatever. Like, they're going to be landing on a completely different continent, but it's going to be like a crash land, and they already have like air travel by that point, right? And so they land on or they crash land, right? Like, it's going to be, they what'd you call it, they like fall into a jungle or something on some like lost continent or something like that. So it's something like super mysterious, right? But basically what I'm trying to establish, right, is that you're in a land that hasn't been explored yet, right? And you're there with like a group of people that very distinct individuals. I want it to be sort of like what you call it? I don't know. Actually, I guess some zombie maps are like this, like five, but everyone knows each other on five in terms of um SOEs like this actually.
Yeah,
A lot of the
I
people,
never get
all
that.
of the people are from different groups of sorry, different walks of life. You know,
Like
one's
the
a
prostitute, the
yeah, the
cop,
prostitute, the cop, the boxer, and the Nero, the fuck he does,
the magician.
magician.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wanted to have something like that where these two like the people in the crew are like some like very they're very sort of eccentric. They're a very eccentric group of people, and so maybe you have like let's just keep it like in the frame of BL1 you have four characters that are playable, right? And they're all from like different countries in this mythical world that exists, hypothetical world that exists, and they all have like different cultural backgrounds. um and that informs what weapon they're using. Like one guy's probably using some like fucking flintlock musket, but maybe make it a little bit different. So it's like you know how like in Disco Elysium, right? Like it's not sort of like real world based. Like the cars look really different. They sort of look like a carriage sort of thing.
Hmm.
It looks really like,
Yeah.
oh, okay, this is like clearly sort of like kind of a different world. And yeah, that's what I want my game to sort of kind of inspired by this. I'd want it to be, sort of different, right? Where the what do you call it, the technology that's being used is sort of like they're from different time periods. It's like, oh, the earth hasn't fully been explored, but they're not using boats anymore. They've already got like flying machines, right? Maybe they're in a blimp or something. So they fly in, and they crash land in some part of the actual continent or whatever, or just island you don't even really know fully understand what it is. And so that's sort of kind of the progression of the game, right? And so I was thinking, DOA doesn't have an economy, right? And obviously, what I like. Yeah, I come from Doris, so I really enjoy the economy side of the game where you have
And
to.
CS, yeah. You
And
like watching
CS
that,
too.
so
Yeah, yeah. I really enjoy the economy aspect of CS:GO, and so I was thinking, okay, have sort of like a DOA sort of like roguelike game. Um, and you can, instead of, on DOA, you sort of like find weapons on the ground and not purchase them. You just pick them up and it's just like sort of RNG based. I would,
temporary. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, I wouldn't want that. I would want like set builds. So when you get something, that's something you have until you pick something else up, and exchange it for something else. And what I'd want, right? So you're on this lost island and you find, a lost civilization of just, it's not like a lost civilization, but it's just like a civilization that hasn't been found yet. It's not technically lost. Could be lost, who knows? Haven't built it far out yet, but they don't speak, you know, the English, right? Or you know what I mean? Like the contemporary language, right? And so
Yeah.
you don't, so when they're talking to you, you just don't know what the fuck they're saying to you. They're like, oh yeah, buy this. But you don't know what the fuck they're saying, right? But it's like, if you click, yes or whatever, or if you accept, it's like, oh, you ended up buying something, right? And you have no idea what you bought, right? And so I was thinking, right, a really cool progression, right, is making the language they talk an actual readable language, right? Something that you could
Yeah.
actually somehow figure out. And so if you figure it out, that means you actually know what they're saying, right? And so I was
That's actually
thinking,
pretty sick. That's actually really sick.
right, so I was thinking, okay, how am I gonna do this, right? Because that's actually how I learned katakana. So what I do, right, is I watched what do you call it? Third Strike. So I know who the players are from Third Strike. So it's very obvious to me who the, like, I know a black Chun-Li could possibly be Nuki, right? And sometimes the videos will have the player names in the title, and so I figured out what they meant just off of that. Oh, Kyosha, okay. Strong person. Nuki. So I figured it out through that, like, oh yeah, that's just Nuki again, because you know what you call it, what characters certain players play. So I was like, oh okay, this is I just figured the characters out that way, and so it's possible to figure out what the words mean, right? And you know how Japanese is a syllabary, not an alphabet, that it's like a consonant and a syllable.
Yeah.
Sorry, no, a consonant and a vowel together, and that makes like an entire syllable. And so I was thinking maybe have it like Japanese, because obviously it's going to be easy to figure out what something says if it's if there's like more meaning put into one word or one letter or character, whatever, character I should say. And so I was thinking, okay, like maybe make it a syllabary. That would be easier to figure out. But also I was thinking maybe I'll have like something along the lines of kanji, right? But obviously kanji, you can't look at kanji and know like, oh yeah, that's this and that's that, without sort of having some sort of background in kanji, because they're quite divorced from what they actually represent for the most part, right? So I was thinking maybe like hieroglyphs, they have hieroglyphics. I don't know how you spell that.
H-I-E-R? I thought it was H-I-E.
We got it right. But you know how these are a lot closer to at least something that looks somewhat like, they actually look like things, right? And so I was thinking, okay, maybe I make the game so I have, a bunch of these, special characters, right? That represent something that you don't understand, right? And let's draw. I don't.
I see line.
I wanted to have like an actual sketchpad. Here we go. Fuck off. So I want it. Can I make a white background? Where's the background tool? It's not. Oh, there we go. Just make it green. Bring green background because it's cool. What? Can we just get a fucking pencil or something?
Hold on, while you're doing this, I'm gonna go get my dinner.
Okay.
Just texted us already, so I'll be right back.
Okay.
Prepare to strike now.
遺言が詰めてくるときに移動内を仕込むっていうのが結構強いですね。背には高いですね。遺言は画面がここかなりきついんで、どうやって逃げるか、あとはゲージを貯めるか、この状況かなりきつくて。中継かな。
What a punish.
Alright, I'm back. Sorry.
No, that's all right. All right,
But
so
I just wanted to say before you talk about anything else, like I think it's like really cool how I can kind of see like all your different interests kind of coming together for this,
oh yeah,
like all the different like civilizations and stuff, and then like you're really interested in like language learning too.
yeah, yeah. I noticed that too.
And like the Reese as well is just like kind of I can totally see you making this like 100%.
Right. Yeah, it just happens that this is a really interesting. I've seen it in another game too. It's not quite like the way I'm doing it. But there's a game called Tunic. I may have told you about it, where basically there's a manual and it is a language you don't understand, and you can actually decipher what the language means to find out different things about what there's like a grand puzzle I never actually ended up doing. I got too fucking lazy to do it, and I wasn't super into the game. I super into the concept, but just didn't want to stick around the game anymore. Wanted to play other games. But had a very similar sort of premise, but going sort of in a different place in terms of the way the language is structured. Where I have basically the way it's structured is this is the kana. Yeah, just like random kana I just scribbled on. This is the kana and this is the like kanji equivalent, right? So it's like, oh, this is a fucking fish. So it's like I know the person is talking about the fish. I would make the grammar really simple. So it's like, you know, in Japanese, it's sort of like Japanese, you know, you'd have noun plus, you know, data, um, um, that's oh yeah, that is fuck. I was like, oh, that's ta. Oh, whoops. There we go. Data. You'd have data, and that's like the past tense of it, of the noun that you're talking about. So like that was, or whatever. I would make it something like that where let's say you see like a let's say you see something, I don't know, and it's like I thought of like really cool concepts for this too. So it's like, oh, you know, like this is like early on, right? So this is like the first shop you encounter, right? It's like Mickey Mouse. It's like, oh, snake, you know, it's like snake, you know, like is like that'll be des in Japanese. Fuck what do Sue or whatever. I forgot you draw Sue. Just pretend that's a Sue that des desu. You'd be like, oh, snake is okay. That's very simple. But it would have like, you know, whatever shit that I come up with, right? But then, you know, later on, right, you would have, you know, snake, and then it'll be like, is not. So they're fucking, you know, they're not talking about a snake. It says like snake is not, so it like confuses you on what it's talking about. You probably have encountered it in language learning, where you know how they try and confuse you in language learning, where they will put negatives in a sentence, and then you'll hear the word, but you won't hear the grammar associated with it.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's what I'll do. I'd be like, oh, snake. But also, right, you know how in Japanese, like chugoku is what do you call it? It means China. It's like Middle Kingdom, and it means China, right? And you know, like if you didn't know the context of the language, you'd be like, oh, it just means middle country, like maybe middle of the country or whatever. Like, you'd never know it means China without the context of like how the world works, right? So I'd have something like, oh, okay, so like I would have like the character for middle, right? You know, it's like, oh, you know, they're talking about like, let's say like, you know, in the middle of the map or whatever, you know, the current map that you're in, like, oh yeah, no, like he's talking about what do you call it, middle of the map, right? But the middle, right, could be like a what is it called, like a homophone or whatever, where it means multiple different things. And so like middle in this society, right, and this is like some like world building of like the society, like maybe like something is really important in the society, so it also means middle because it's like the center of their society. And so it would confuse you. It'd be like something that confuses you. It's like, oh shit, you know, it's like, oh, you know, I thought it was gonna be some what do you call it? I thought it was gonna be like I thought they were talking about the middle of something or whatever. Like snake means like backstabber, you know, that means backstabber. So like maybe they're talking about a certain person when they reference snake, but you think they're just talking about snakes, right? So it gets a little bit more complicated, right? But
Yeah.
it sort of elucidates what the society is about, right? Where the way they use certain words, right? It's like, oh fuck, like that's how they see that. Um, you know how like sayings are like really weird once you look at other language. Or like, let's say like English sayings, like a lot of English sayings. Because England is an island, right? Or the British Isles are an island, right? A lot of them are very nautical. It's like, oh, toe the line, or all these nautical sayings that still exist today are because it's from an island nation, of course. So a lot of people were just sailors that came from the British Isles. Like, yeah, that makes like total sense, right? And so it says a lot about the society with how their sayings exist. So I was thinking, yeah, the way they use their words, like things could have, double meaning. Like, oh, they could be talking about a snake, or he could also be talking about something else. So I thought that was a really interesting way to use language to sort of have, or to use progression, which is you learning the language that they're speaking. It's not like you have to learn the language to understand. You could just press like yes, no, maybe, you can play it like EXE.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's like really sick because you don't have to like what's it called? You can like try to work around it too. That's what I was gonna say. Like you can try to manage it. It's not just like there's no way to there's not no way to understand it. I like that a lot.
Right. And that's sort of how language learning works. Like, if you think about how, the first people that went to the Americans and met the Americas and met the Incas and, the other, civilizations that existed there, it sort of was like, okay, you're sort of like trying to interpret what they're saying through, different cues and means. And eventually people would just learn because you've been exposed to the language for a long time. It's sort of like pattern recognition, where it's just like, oh, eventually it's just like, oh, you've seen, this, X means Y, or X means, like crocodile for so many times. Like, it's not even, it's like subconsciously your brain just immediately knows, like when somebody says X, they're talking about the crocodiles, right? And so it could be something where it's like, because I'd make the grammar really simple. I wouldn't have like text box and it's like free line. Like, what the fuck? It would be something that's like very much like, oh, you have like one line that's maybe, like, this is talking about one part and this is talking about another part, right? So it's like, do you want to buy snake? This will be 300, but it would be like simple grammar, right? Like, it would be, like this would be it would be like sword, and then whatever is, and then it'll be like the price of it. And maybe I even have a different number system, so you have to do some maths too. Just make it a little bit more complicated. They're not using the Indian numbers, right? The cool base, like base 10, like maybe it's like base 6. So you actually have to do some maths. It's like, oh, how much does this cost? And you have to like do some like scoff the maths, and actually even figure out that it's like in like base 6 or whatever. It's like, oh, it's like a base 6 numeric system. So it's like, thought that would be a really cool way to progress through the game, because I think people value progression, and maybe having an XP bar where it goes from 35 to 36 and you have this at the bottom of the screen, right? And then you gain a new fucking prestige badge or whatever. Maybe this is a really boring way to have progression in a video game. Same thing with like, oh yeah, I unlocked the RK5 now. I can use the RK5 because I did the Omega Easter egg, or I can have, or in the later games, you have like a fucking M4 carbine, just like fully decked out with like a fucking scope and everything. And it's just like, yeah, that's super appropriate for round one. This is totally what you want zombies to be. It's like, fuck off. That's not how I want to do progression in my game, but I think you can still have progression. I was thinking, fuck, language would just be so. You could do so much with it, with in terms of making people have to at least somewhat understand what's going on, so you know they have to use their brain, and obviously the more they play it, right, it's like you go back to the beginning, it's like, oh fuck, that's what that meant, you know, like I didn't even know what the fuck that meant, and that meant originally, and now I know what that means. So there's like some sort of reward that you get, right, on top of obviously getting better at the video game. You know, you got better movement, so you can like train the zombies or whatever the fuck you're chasing after you. I don't know the law, the law,
Right.
yeah. Yeah,
I was just gonna say, of course, it's gonna be different every time. Obviously, like you're not gonna get the same prompts every time. It's gonna be different. So
right, true. But there are gonna be enough similarities where it's like, okay, I keep seeing this, and when I click accept, you know, like something is happening. So maybe this part of the sentence indicates something. Right, you just like this pattern recognition, right? It's like, you know, it's like playing zombies. It's like, maybe if I, fucking run into a zombie, you know, I get hit. You know, it's like, whoa, wow, okay. Well, that's how it works. I didn't know. Yeah, go on.
I'm also thinking like it'd be really funny. I'm just imagining like you say the wrong thing and it just starts a war with that like area, and then that becomes like part of the game, like where the mechanics you need to have like good mechanics.
Yeah, good understanding of what, you know, like you might have, you know, it might be the case that it's like, oh wow, I don't even want to interact with, you know, like this, like, you know, cool, or you know, like cool looking tribe that's gonna give me cool looking, you know, loot because they're like super, you know, advanced or whatever. It's like, maybe I shouldn't interact with them because I don't know what the fuck they're gonna say to me.
Right.
So yeah, there are so many interesting concepts here that can be done, and I want to explore that. I want to explore how that would look like. This just all came to me like in one bike ride. I wasn't even gonna go on it.
Really?
Yeah, no, just one bike ride. That's it. I just did one fucking bike ride, and it just all started coming to me. And I was thinking, like, how does the civilization gonna look like? Because I don't want to do like, you know how, because I want it to be some sort of like, okay, it's like some sort of like ruined civilization, but it's not like completely ruined. Like maybe there's like multiple civilizations. And you know how I've talked about like different species and how different species are kind of like, oh, you know, it's like, oh, one with pointy ears and it's like an alternate race of humans, and it's just not that interesting in terms of, you know, it's been done before, but also it's like it's just alternate humans, right? They philosophically, it's like it's only really cultural differences, and they can be very different, right? But they can't be so different to the point where, you know, their way of life is just so different, and the way they consume things is so different. Like imagine meeting a civilization that's like a hive mind. You know, this is just completely different, right? So I was thinking like, man, we could have, I actually thought so many cool things. I was thinking, okay, you have a civilization, right, where this island or landmass or whatever the fuck it is, I just call it a landmass, right? This landmass, there was like a ruined civilization that existed there. And then a new civilization took over. You don't know this when you get there, right? And and this civilization that came before, right, was like fairly advanced, right? Like they had like pylons and you know, electric pylons and everything. And so their ruins don't look like the stereotypical ruins, you know, like ruins, like, you know, sort of like they're very much like there's always like pillars everywhere, and all like the stereotypical video games when they do ruins, they all look like this. I was thinking more like I don't know if you played near City Ruins. The way the ruins look, it's very contemporary. Like the actual ruins, you can see it's like, oh, you know, that's like from our what you call it?
So kind of like Last of Us 2 as well.
Oh,
like,
oh yeah, yeah. But I wouldn't want it this built up. I was actually more thinking of near Replicant. This civilization looks so you see it's like a plane, but then you see like the remnants of a, you know, train or something, right? So it's like really vague as to like, oh, you know, like there's definitely something that existed here. This is one of my favorite looking areas. It's you can see like a cityscape sort of like in the background, but it's not like, maybe this is a hydroelectric dam, as you can see here, like water pouring out. It's like really sick, but it's like more worn down, right? Like this is like even, you know what I mean? The screenshots I showed you earlier, they looked a little bit more what you call it, closer to our time. Like it's very recognizable. This is meant to be like some, you know, city with a bunch of skyscrapers, but this is a little bit more ambiguous than where it's like, okay, I can see the cities, but it's like really worn down now to the point where, you know, there's a lot of grass that is just like completely, you know, eroded. Yeah, a lot of the structure, and then other humans have built on top of those structures, and so they have changed. And this is what, you know, when I was shit talking like, you know, Fallout 4 and how everything just looked like the bombs went off. You know, I'm thinking, you know, after a few hundred years have, you know, sort of gone, it's like multiple civilizations have gone and actually lived through and lived in, you know, these different what you call it, these buildings, right? And so those different civilizations would have changed the way those buildings looked, and so they may look unrecognizable. It's like, oh, you know, they started, you know, building on top of the foundations that existed before. And so maybe it's like you don't even really know what you're looking at because it's, you know, like 3 different cultures have interacted with it. So I was thinking, right, I had this image in my head, right, because there was these pylons I was cycling under. I was thinking, okay, like maybe there's pylons, but you know how they look like sort of like austere in terms of like they're just like metal, they're like very boring.
Oh, this is what you meant by pylon?
Pylon, yeah.
To me, a pylon is like a football term. I'm not even gonna lie.
Oh my god. Yeah. So I was thinking, imagine, right? So like this civilization would be, you know, fairly technologically advanced that came after, and this new civilization that has like sort of replaced it. They see, you know, like electricity, right? Because you know how like more rudimentary societies sort of like mystified everything. It's like, oh, those are like from the gods or whatever, you know. It's like, oh, you know, like this is because we had less explanations as to how the societies existed, right? And sorry, less explanation as to why things existed in these societies, like why does the sun rise up or whatever. And so, you know, you make like sun gods or whatever, or and stuff like that. So I was thinking electricity god, you know, like, oh, you know, we have electricity, right? But they don't fully understand, you know, where it came from, and so they start like decorating the pylons so they don't look like so austere. Like they look like some like you would have like there'll be like churches basically, like priests would be like maintaining, like they would all be like really fancily colored or whatever, like they would have like flowers and ribbons all over, and you have like fucking priests, right? Like after like so many pylons, it would be like priests that like built up the pylons, and they're like fucking, you know what I mean? It's like, oh yeah, we're praying to the electric god, you know, like, and they're doing some like basic function, right? And they think it's like, you know, like, oh, the electric god wants me to like, you know, do this or whatever. And it's just like, you know, it's like so boring, like it's like very comedic, right? Because you know it's like all bullshit, but they think they're actually like doing something, right? And so like doing like basic electricity maintenance is like a bunch of like, it's like a religious, you know, like right now, like, you know, like electricity pylon worker or something. I don't even know, like, I don't even, like these guys, right? Like they look like very like high vis vest and everything. Like, you know what I mean? Like, you know, like they look like workers, right? They've got hats and everything like that. But I'm thinking like, you know, you're thinking of like some like Buddhist priest or whatever. Like you have these fucking guys just like fucking climbing with like all their beads and shit, or like some Hindu priest. Oh my, like you just have like this guy just like climbing down, like fuck, bro. You have this guy like, bruv, look at this guy, like, you know, he got a shock there, like all the electricity is like acting on his beard or whatever. This guy's like climbing there, and they have like a sick, like, you know, like 6-handed like electric god like statue in the background, just like overseeing them climbing. And that's what the electric pylon workers are. You know, they think they're doing some like religious thing, and everything that they're doing is like some sort of like religious thing from like some like message like handed down from like the electric gods, but really they're just doing like basic like construction work, and they have no idea this is like a scientific thing because they don't fully understand what they're doing, right? Like they know is they know that like what they're doing is like working in terms of like, oh, it's actually, you know, doing a function that's keeping our society around and the electricity running, but they don't understand like the mechanics because they have no idea, you know, how energy works or anything like that. Like they're not that advanced to understand that yet, and so it's like an actual religious role that they do in their society.
That's really good. That's so funny.
Yes.
And
Yeah,
I
go.
really love like the last part you were saying about like they're doing maintenance, but they really think it's like God, like giving them grace or like praising it. Like,
Yeah.
that's the thing. So they're gonna keep doing it forever. Like it's just
Right.
it's
Yeah.
really funny.
Yeah. So I thought of that. That is just. Man, I want to play this game. This is just like coming from my own head. It's like, wait, what the fuck? This sounds like sick world building. So I thought of that. Yeah, I thought that sounds like a really cool world building ideas for, you know, a potential game on an island that has strange inhabitants. I actually thought of more shit. Like this is only like maybe 50% of what I thought of. I thought of these people eat bugs, right? So these people, like the first people we meet are gonna be these like fucking pylon priests, right? Or at least like they come from that civilization. And they eat bugs. And so you're thinking like, oh, like, you know, they're anti, you know what I mean? Like it sort of like makes them sound like they're like some, you know, like ethical vegan sort of things, like, oh yeah, we don't kill animals or whatever. You know, like we eat bugs or whatever, you know, they're eating, right? But
Yeah.
then you find out there's like a bug people hive mind that exists on the island. It's like a bug hive mind that exists, and they're just like eating like another conscious species. Like the bug people also can talk and everything like that. And it's like, oh shit, these guys are like kind of like cannibals, but not really, because they're not eating their own people. They're eating like another conscious being. That's like, you know what I mean? Maybe they're Alpha Centaurians or whatever too. Like, you know, maybe get that. Maybe get the Alpha Centaurians in the game too. But yeah. Also, I thought of another thing, and this was like the makeup topic that we were talking about. I was thinking of having one of the characters just like be masked up. Like they have a mask, so you have like no idea what their face looks like, and it's like, you know, they cover their face, so you're thinking like, oh, who are they? You know, why do they cover their face, right? And what they and so like the background lore of them is that like initially, like in terms of like what you gather from, you know, like maybe at the beginning of the game, right? There's like a little description of the character, you know, that the characters them like an unreliable narrator, like what they wrote about themselves. Like maybe the context of them writing it is like, oh, tell us about yourself, like before they come on, so they like, you know, have like forged documents of like where they came from. Like maybe they're bigging up their like, you know, deeds or capabilities or whatever, right?
Yeah, kind of like Tito Ortiz. I don't know if you saw that video, but
yeah.
he's like buying all the cameramen and stuff.
Man, I don't think I have, man. I'll look it up. But that so you have basically like an unreliable narrator of who these you have an unreliable narrator on who the what do you call it, of who these characters are, and like it would be like some masked woman, right? And she says, because they're from all different parts of like the known world of their universe, at least what their civilizations know, and she's from a place that she says like, oh, they all cover themselves up with like masks, and that's like their culture, right? And so
yeah,
I was thinking, oh, okay, like you have that, right? And like all the characters sort of like think that, oh yeah, everyone from that land, you know, they just cover their faces, right? Like it's meant to be some like sort of like, you know, whole, you know, like sacred thing that like, oh yeah, you don't take off the mask, right? But I was thinking, right, that's just all a fraud, like that's fraudulent, and that nobody else knows because they're not like super well traveled people, or maybe like one person knows because they like have been there before and they think it's like full of shit. Like maybe it's like some like North Korean nation, right? Like and because like the technology is like there's no internet in this world or whatever, so like they don't know, like, you know, it's sort of like a Roman wouldn't know like what the fuck's going on in China or something. Like maybe they'll have like vague ideas or something, right? I was thinking, right, it's like you'd have like this like hermit nation, right, that exists, like, you know, just think about like, and let's say like and so it's like fairly small, so there's not that many people that come from this island, but it's like fairly well known. Like maybe they have like a silk trade or anything, so people know about the nation, but then maybe they've never met anyone from it because it's like on the other side of the world from them, or really far away from them, right? And so she's actually just bullshitting they don't wear masks where they come from. Maybe she's just like a really insecure average looking woman and they have like crazy unrealistic beauty standards over there, and so she wears a mask because she's just like crazy insecure. And I thought that'd be like a really interesting storyline. It's like, oh yeah, this person just looks really average, but and maybe you can like find out, somehow, I don't know, like I haven't developed it that far, but she's just like an average, an average looking girl underneath, but she's just like completely trolling. And maybe you can like find out from just like records of, I don't know, like maybe there'll be records of like the society, like the other societies that exist in the world, but then like it doesn't match up with like what she's saying, and it's like, wait, she's telling, she's talking shit, but it wouldn't be something that's like maybe outright stated. Maybe it would be, I don't fucking know, I haven't thought about the game that far, right? But it's just, I thought that was a really interesting concept, because people, you do have people that, like bald men, right? They'll have, get like fake hair, or they'll just like put hats on because I don't know if you remember You're Adopted. I remember his hairline went all the way to the back. He would just wear hats on stream. And I remember when he did the ice bucket challenge, he took it off and his hairline was so fucked up, because he didn't like shave his hair. It was crazy.
Yeah.
And so yeah, I was thinking like, yeah, that's something that I see in current society, that people are quite insecure the way they look because of the beauty standards that exist. And I was thinking, oh yeah, that'd be a really cool character to have, where someone just covers themselves up, but it's like they don't really have a fault with them, because I was thinking, right, like I would make the beauty standards sort of different in that society, so it's very easy for a person to go, oh yeah, that's fucking retarded. Like, why would you because you're not in that society and you don't adhere to those beauty standards. It seems like, oh, that's like really fucking stupid. She looks like she looks fine. Well, and her insecurity seems like a little bit, it's like, oh, that's like, oh, that's like a self-inflicted thing, right? But then in our society, right, well, because you grew up in that society, it seems less obvious that it's like, wait, we have like balding people that are just like super insecure about themselves, and that's just so fucking dumb. It's just a dumb thing to have in our society, that we're just making fun of bald men and we're really diminishing these bald men. And then we're having like celebrities get plastic surgery to like fake it. It's like, wow, that's just a shit society. Like you're pretending to look like you have hair. That's just something that we have in our society. This is so stupid. So I thought of that concept of the character, like just the first character I thought of.
So how many different like societies do you think you'd make?
Probably a bit. At least like the I thought of just the two societies that live on the continent so far. So you'd have like the bug people that are a hive mind. I just like the idea of a hive mind. I've talked about that for years at this point. That was like the insult, it's like the hive mind. But then the initial people that I talked about, like the initial people that you start talking to, that are like the priests that operate the pylons.
That one's definitely gonna be my favorite.
Yeah, that's my favorite as well. So that would be like the two societies so far, living on the continent. But then the actual cultures that exist from outside will probably be a little bit more similar to us, but we have like an unreliable narration, obviously, because we only know of those cultures from the characters that we play as. And so just 4 characters, because 4P, that's like zombies, and I'm uncreative, so 4 players apparently, and it'll be like 4 people that at least 4 playable people that are from on this crew. Maybe there's more people on the crew. I'd actually assume there's more than 4 people on the crew.
So is it gonna be like co-op?
Yeah, you could play co-op just like DOA, yeah.
I like that.
But definitely building out solo first, because that seems way easier to just conceptually, just planning this out ahead probably seems way easier to build a solo first.
Yeah, for sure. It's gonna take a lot of thought for the co-op stuff with like economy and stuff. It's probably gonna have to work a little different.
Oh yeah, true. You'd have to like rebalance the game, but just like getting 2 people connected on a game, I don't even know how the fuck you would do that. So I'd have to, yeah, that seems like also extra work, like getting the net code working. Oh fucking hell, that's like hassle, right? But yeah, that's pretty much all I thought of so far. I don't think I've thought that much past like I don't know how specifically the economy would work in terms of like, okay, what are you buying and how does the what you're buying work in terms of, is it like a permanently equipped item? Are you buying like stats too, or downgrade and upgrades to stats? And how does the currency work? How do you even gain the currency? Is the game gonna be, you know how like DOA you can't speed run it because like all the rounds last a certain amount of time.
Yeah.
I was thinking, it's like, okay, am I gonna make, because I like the idea of speed running, obviously, so I'm thinking like I would want it to be speed run. So how would I do it? Because DOA, a lot of it is just like, you know, training the zombies and then killing them. I mean, you can kill them, you could not kill them. Probably, I'll probably make it so like, yeah, you know, you kill zombies and that makes the round go by faster. Maybe there's like a set amount of time that the rounds last, but if you kill more zombies, that takes time off the round. I don't know. I'd have to think of some way to do it. I haven't. This is like super early stage.
Yeah.
That's why there's a lot of maybes. But yeah, that's all I've thought so far for this game. I've not written any of this down. I actually was until Naraj messaged me, so I went to talk about zombies instead.
Well, I was actually just about to ask if you wrote anything down, but you pretty much have it written down now, right? On stream, like technically.
Oh yeah, on stream. Yeah, I'm on stream,
You
so I
sit
can
back.
yeah consult the stream about the the pylon priests. That's such a sick idea. I knew I knew I had a sick idea as soon as I thought that. It just sounds so sick to me.
Yeah, I think this is like pretty crazy. The fact that you came up with all this in like one bike ride too.
Oh yeah, I couldn't believe it too. It's like, yeah, just
But
I
that's
had
kind of
that.
how it goes, honestly. Just
Yeah.
like ideas in general, just randomly come.
Yeah, but just had 2 really banging ideas too with like the language shit too.
Yeah.
And how that's how you progress. Because that was that was a thing that I was stumped for so long. When I was thinking, I was like, I want to make a game, and I knew I wanted to make like a DOA style roguelike game, but I never thought of anything past that because I was thinking, yeah, I want to start from, like, I want it to start from scratch every time you start, but then it's like, oh, but then that limits so much of what progression could look like, and I would want some kind of progression outside of just you getting better at the game. And after I thought of the language thing, all the other thoughts just started flowing into me.
So would you make it to where you're saying like this would be the first society encounter, but would you make it so you could like just do anything off spawn, like just, I'm guessing.
Off spawn, I don't even know how. Hold on, let me go back to the sketch thing. I was thinking, so like you it's like the landing site, right? And then I don't know, maybe I don't even know how the game looks like in terms of gameplay, because the DOA is sort of like locked into one room. So like, would it be locked into one room and then you sort of like progress through, like, you know, let's just pretend this is like DOA. You progress through 1, 2, 3, 4. Like, would it just be like 4 arenas that are, you know, at some to some extent randomly generated, or maybe they're like set. I'm thinking, you know, maybe it's like, okay, you're the first area, the first area you crash land at is like a jungle area, and so it's like, okay, this is like the landing site that you're at, and then you complete that round, and maybe I don't know, an event triggers, and you know, you have like people that, you know, come or find you, or maybe you know, nothing happens and you go to room 2 and it's like, oh, okay, after you complete round 2, it's like, oh, an event triggers, right? And you meet, you know, the civilization. They're talking some fucking, you know, bullshit language with fishes and bullshit. And you talk to them after the round completes and they're talking to you and you don't know what the fuck they're saying, but they're actually trading. You know, they're like, hey, you know, want to buy this fucking sick spear, but you don't know what the fuck they're talking about. And maybe the way you figure out they're talking about a spear is like, well, you know, they're holding, you know, like certain goods, right? And maybe he's holding a spear in his hand, so maybe he's talking about a spear, and maybe one of the things that he said actually refers to a spear. Maybe I could actually learn that, you know. And then you go, this is just like the way DOA works, kind of. Of course, there's no tribesmen that come to you. I mean, there don't be tribesmen. Yeah, pylon priests. Pylon priests don't show up to you. Show up, right? And then, you know, you go through the 4 areas, and I was thinking, I think one lacking thing of DOA is that you don't have branching paths. So I was thinking, like, definitely branching paths. So it's like, oh, maybe you can go to the, you know, it's like mountain road. You go to, like, you know, the mountain, and maybe, you know, the mountain roads, you know, have, you know, different terrain that you have to go to, but also items. You know, the loot pool of the mountain is going to be different from the loot pool of, like, oh, maybe this takes you to, you know, like ruins of a society. And so you're going through like a very urban and very like narrow. It's going to be like a very compact, you know, think about like Varrock versus Ascension, where Varrock is a lot way more compact of a map. Versus Ascension, which is very wide open. So like that would be the difference between going here. I mean, I guess they are kind of compact because you're like on like hill cliffs or it's mountain cliffs or whatever, going on like to the mountain area. I But I don't know how I want it so far. I don't know if I want like one screen and you're sitting on one screen for a long time. Like how DOA is, you know, DOA is like you're just running around one screen and then you're waiting for the screen to end, or I don't know if I want to have it like you you sort of like run around an area, like an actual like complicated like built out area, and you can like go back like it's a big area, but I don't know how you would make the gameplay of DOA work in such a big area. That would definitely
I
be
mean,
something. Yeah, go on.
I actually have an idea. You could do like, so like when the tribesmen come or something, like after the first jungle area, you
Mm,
can, it's kind of like optional. It's like you can go to this town or whatever,
mm,
or you can just like continue on with the levels. But
right.
like into the town would take more time, and you have to, you know, build up like economy and stuff. And that's whenever you make purchases to make your character better,
Mm,
or you can just skip it and like continue playing. Like I think that
right.
would kind of make sense.
Right. Yeah. Um, But in terms of
But
the, I was thinking like more in terms of like the actual outside of buying. How would the gameplay look? Is it just one screen and you're spending your time on one screen before you advance to a next screen like DOA, or is it going to be like all ones like it's going to be like a massive like area that you explore and go around, and then there's also I just don't think that works for a DOA style game. It would have to be I would have to change it from like a I, I would have to change it from like, oh, it's no longer a DOA style game. It's more of just like a mob killing game while you explore areas, sort of like how Zelda is. Um, yeah, Zelda. What is the like? What is that? Yeah,
I'm
what
gonna
is
go
it?
put my plate up real quick. One sec.
Okay, into the past.
But my show, Tito Ortiz versus Sea Monsters, I'm gonna go around the world trying to catch the biggest species of that fish in saltwater. You know, it's kind of like a spinoff of Dwayne Wade's, River Monsters. You know, you guys got an opportunity to see River Monsters with Dwayne Wade. Well, this is Tito Ortiz versus Sea Monsters. But there was a show called River Monsters with Dwayne Wade. Yeah. And I always thought in my mind, well, River Monsters, okay, it's freshwater fish. They can get so.
You know, I tried to go do a training camp in Breckenridge, Colorado, because the altitude is like 9,000 square feet above sea level. I went there originally with the idea like, oh, all the boxers are doing it. Everybody talks about it, just changing your cardio game. Go from sea level, where I live in Miami, to 9,000 square feet above sea level in Breckenridge, Colorado. And
And watching his 30 for 30, and Chuck said the best, it was just like he was happy fighting because it made him happy. If you have a job you're happy with, that's your job. My job is to be successful and try to do other things to transduce into other stuff.
Fuck.
And watching his 30 for 30, and Chuck said the best, it was just like he was happy fighting because it made him happy. If you have a job you're happy with.
What does Mace Sucker mean? Masterpiece. Huh. Interesting.
All right, I'm back.
Fuck, the video just switched.
I was gonna say, I forgot to tell you, but yeah, I posted that video I was talking about with Tito.
Okay,
You've already seen it probably, but I was referencing like somewhere near the start where he was talking about how Tito bought all the camera and people for his like TV thing he was doing.
I actually haven't seen this video. I've only seen the clips of it.
You've definitely seen the end of it. This was the first one you showed me where he's like talking about the Instagram, or not DM, the comments.
Yeah, you are.
Yeah, this is that one. This is like the full version.
Yeah, I've not seen the full version. I was trying to say.
And one of the things that they asked me was about Tito's wrestling match coming up with Alberto Del Rio. And they had called it a fight. They said, hey, what do you think about this fight? And I just shared my opinion that I don't think that they're fighting. I think that it's a scripted, performance, wrestling. And they said, well, hey, you cut us off guard. And they call it a hot take. They go, chill, that's a hot take. Why do you say that? I go, well, I said, Alberto Del Rio is a legitimate tough guy. By the way, some of you don't know that. He actually is a very legitimately tough guy. But he's only done one MMA fight that I'm aware of. And he did it in Japan, and it was scripted. He wore.
Wait, if I'm gonna watch this whole video, I'm gonna go and get some food.
All right, I'm gonna get a water then too. I forgot to get that when I was gone, but I do have to go in like 30 minutes.
Okay.
Because my friends want to play basketball. So
don't worry, I'm gonna be gone by then. I'm really tired.
Yeah, All right, BRB. I'm back.
I'm here.
Nope.
Alright.
Actually, have you seen this one? This one's like my favorite. Only the first 2 minutes though. Only like the first 2.5 minutes. It sounds like really funny to me.
Huntington Beach. I walked up on Tito. I insulted
Oh,
him.
so
Oh,
go
by the way,
back to 0.
Have you managed to settle it since with Tito or not?
No, I can't get it right with Tito. I saw Tito about 3 months ago in the streets of Portland. I had just
Oh,
come
yes,
from a trip. I
one.
was at a Bellator.
Yeah,
and I
you
walk
seen that?
outside, and my buddy Joel is gonna
No, but I've seen the clips.
pick me up. So I walk out to get in the car, and I'm just standing there minding my own business. There's no one around. I'm just standing there waiting for Joel's car to pull up, and I'm playing on my phone, but nobody's around. And I hear somebody say, "There's the pussy." And believe it or not, I will get comments like that, but it's usually from a fan, like, "Oh man, I'm gonna knock you out." And you look up, and the dude's like, "Oh, let me shake your hand. I'm a huge fan." You know, they'll make some kind of a joke like that. So Tito says, "There's the pussy." So I look up from my phone with a smile on my face. I think I'm about to meet somebody, and it's Tito, and the coward is with somebody else. So the only time Tito would ever address me like that, one is when I'm locked in a cage with Vandalay and he's on the opposite side, or two is when he's got a buddy with him. So this scumbag, what a scumbag move. So I look up and I simply say, "Hey Tito, what are you doing in Portland?" I don't say anything else to this day, Gareth, and to this day, he's never responded. He began shaking his head, and he began, like, mumbling his words. And I walked off, and I remember watching him stand out there right on the streets and watching him going, Tito, that wasn't meant as a trick question. Like, that wasn't meant to stump you. What are you doing in Portland seems like something you could respond to reasonably. But this is what he did. So he goes inside, and now I'm pissed. Like, it took a beat for me to get mad. I started doing the math. Wait a minute. If I was in Huntington Beach, I
I'd say that's like the end of it pretty much.
him. Oh, and by the way, for 2-on-1, Tito's going to be a little upset. And I'm so mad because that was my chance. Like, here we are. This is it. So I get in the car. Right then, my buddy Joel pulls up. So I get in the car, and Joel goes, "Man, something's bothering you. What's going on?" And I said, "Tito and a buddy just verbally assaulted me on the street, and I took it." And Joel goes, When did this happen?" I go, "Right now, right before you pulled up. This just happened." He goes, "At the airport." I go, "Right, this just happened."
That's your job. My job is to be successful and try to do other things to train.
Oh, this one is fucking hilarious.
30 for 30, and Chuck said the best. It was just like he was happy fighting because it made him happy. If you have a job, that's your job. My job is to
He uploaded one like a day ago.
Transduce
Yeah, I've seen that one as well. Jeremy, Dane Wade and Jeremy Wade. Oh, this one is just...
We are in such a pivotal moment in history at this time.
Well, I think people need to understand that and take it into a factor and understand how important November 5th is of 2024 for this country, for the future of this country, for the future of my children, and hopefully when they become older, become grandchildren, and the future of this country's children.
Oh, you need to see this, man. You need to see this video I just watched. But I thought I took some. I've been getting recommended these these like true.
Oh god, dude, these look so fucking dumb.
These are so funny. I never got into them until now.
Whenever he's ready. He doesn't want to drive. You don't want to drive her home?
Oh, I do not.
I think he might be having some sort of like early dementia or something, but he is not acting like himself. Starbucks, and then
He's just not. Oh my god. This gets worse. This one girl, it was so funny.
Don't pull my arm out of its socket. Don't touch me. Please step back. Don't touch me. Don't molest me. Please.
What's going to end up?
Don't molest me. Still.
We're going to end up having to enforce them.
I would like to press charges for assault. An assault charge. I just was assaulted. Battery. I want to press charges for battery. I want to press charges.
Bro, what is she talking about, dude?
I'm being held against my will.
Great, get out of the car.
She won't get out the car. That's why the police. Her dad called the police on her. She won't get out the car. Yeah. I'm being held against my will. Okay, get out the car.
That was pretty good.
She got parried so hard. This one's good. This one's good. When you have no job and someone asks you what your job is.
I am his caretaker. So.
You're his caretaker?
Yes, I am.
Fine.
And you know what?
How do you care for him?
I take care of him.
How?
I take care of him.
You work?
Yes, I do. I work a lot. I do things. It doesn't matter. What do you do?
You sound a lot like my brother and sister.
What do you do?
My mom's house time.
What do you do? You just like police stuff? What is that? What is policing?
That is literally my job.
What is policing?
Supervisor.
Policing. Wow.
So.
Dude, she's gonna be trolling.
Yeah. What the fuck is she talking about? What do you do?
When she's saying, I do stuff, I work. What do you do for a job? It's gonna be the new response. No, I work. I do stuff. Why did she have this like really? What is this? It's not like accent, but her disposition, where you know how she ends her words like a Minecraft villager.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
What is that?
It is kind of like I don't know. It's kind of like bitchy, to be honest.
Yeah, I know what you mean.
People do that. Like I don't know.
But you'll find this one so funny though. Hold on.
After being trespassed from a store and walking across a highway through heavy traffic, a young wild teenager gives officers an unwanted challenge and see a second unseen case with the most unique suspect you'll ever see.
You can dance if you want to. You can leave your friends behind. Because if friends don't dance and if they don't dance, then they are no friends of mine.
What the fuck?
This one is wild.
I'm gonna write him a ticket for pedestrian in the roadway.
This kid.
Yeah, you know what? The police, the Freemasons suck my.
I'm
not scared of you. I'm not intimidated by you. No, you only.
Because you're being cited for.
Bro, this people say so. It's just so cringe.
You're probably not even fully human, is he? You're probably reptilian, ain't you?
So if I'm gonna cite you for
He just starts calling him reptilian. But when he's in the car.
I don't care what happens to me, bro. I might be 5'6", but I ain't nothing to play with. I'm not fucking 6'4". But I ain't nothing to play. I get that adrenaline going through me. I'll do some damage, bro. To you and all your bitch ass co-workers, police officer worker, whatever the. That's all y'all fucking do is target people. Even people
he just like fucking destroyed himself.
I'm barely a minority. You still targeting me. So y'all could have just let me go.
What'd you say?
Yeah, write me up for threatening. I don't give a some of the cool I don't care if I go to jail because some of the coolest people I ever met were in jail.
Nothing interesting, but is this second guy? Wait, what?
Some of the coolest people I met were in jail.
Yeah. I know. All right, this
guy's definitely been brainwashed. Like
Kevin Gates went to jail for 2.5 years. You know who? You probably don't know who Kevin Gates is.
This rapper who's like dog shit.
Who was arrested on 3 separate accounts for being a passenger in a stolen vehicle, unlawful possession of a firearm, and battery for kicking a woman in the chest during a performance. In other words, not exactly role model material.
You don't know who?
But okay, this second guy is the guy that you need to see.
Damn, my shoulder popped out. Yeah. Stand up. Good, sit down. The cops are hurting. Good. Oh shit, I'm late. Triple double notice this. Platinum.
What did he say?
Triple double notice this. Platinum to the Earth's core.
What the fuck?
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm a little stuffed up. The cuffs. Oofy, please. No, not the hospital again. Don't, not the guys at the hospital. Not any hospital. The hospital on Jupiter. The one on Pluto. Not Oofy's back, but the triple-double no assist. Win me up.
What's he saying?
Oh, blade spin. The nukes. Max ulti. Triple-double no assist. Express. 9er, 69er Delta. 4 stars to the sky. Oh, looser cuffs, an obedient wife, a tidy house, and, 2 steel bars.
He's saying like the first things that come to his mind.
An obedient wife, a tidy house, and, 2 steel bars. Oh, and some black and white things. How's it? You good up there? Is Oomphy calling yet? Oh, but we're saving Oomphy, and we're even
Dude, this guy actually has to be. I feel so bad for laughing because I think he's like genuinely the stop. He just starts saying random things for the rest of the video.
Jesus Christ.
Drugs, banging. Noises, wheezes, gas clouds. Not Oomphy, not the Gold Cross. It's still probably looking a little bit, it can't resist, right? I mean, it's close. We wrote it. Look, I'm safe though. I'm on the secondary cell block, and I'm staring at the GPS. We did the test run last night, bro. I mean, you remember when you were feeling tired and someone was feeling a little dehydrated? A lack of vibrations. They're
I
safe
don't
in the
know.
cargo on the secondary cell block with a Mr. Miyagi and a future Hokage with a triple-double no
What? Future Hokage?
LeBron James went to Jupiter.
LeBron James to Jupiter. Ultra.
You got a triple-double, no assist,
Are we word yet? Are we on the
too.
secondary cell block? Are we standing back and standing by, or straight to the sky? Or are we S-S-S-S-A-A-A-A-F-F-F-E-E-E-E-T-T-T? Why? But you know, bro, this is where I gotta shout out some numbers randomly. I got like a secondary cell block, an Oomphy that's, you know.
What is these, the Oomphy?
Not binary,
I don't know.
screams, or a jail block, a secondary cell block.
When's it when he starts
I
singing?
want to get paid. I'm at the X8. I'm at dispatch 2 911. But I'm safe. T triple double no assist. Elon Musk on your. Oh man, you just kept giving me reasons to hate someone. But then I remembered my social security number, and it started with a 2, and it ended with a triple-double Oomphy. No assist, platinum, back 1,000 years. I don't donate sperm.
This guy's so obsessed with triple doubles and not getting an assist.
Which you have now been getting a direct line of. You thought I didn't know what.
Wait, when's he singing?
Through bars again, and I'm blinking a lot. How's the drive? You feeling alright? I'm not feeling great. And then look at the driver and ask him how he's doing, and then ask another guy who's like leaning a little bit and like staring at his computer who he's ulting. And it's not Oomphy. It's never Oomphy. Trip 3's up for Elon. I can trust that guy, but also Trip 8. It's
Okay, yeah, but that's what I wanted to show you. This guy right here. Is that a Twitch badge right here?
I don't know what that is.
I'm pretty sure that was a Twitch badge. It looked like the Twitch badge, like a Twitch logo. This might be a jersey or something.
But that's still sources of binary around.
And they're sponsored by Twitch.
Sorry, one more glass bang on my way out. I'm looking.
Yeah, that says Twitch. See that?
Oh yeah, it does.
What the fuck? I mean, he already sounded like a gamer. Shout out to Oomphy with the triple-double no assist. I saw a really funny comment. It was oh yeah, okay, the second guy is pretty much a human form of every Twitch chat.
Yeah.
And it says
That's kind of true.
It's like his mind tried to go to a happy place. Unfortunately, it was just a Twitch stream. Oh my god. Wow. That's true though. First kid is 1,000,000% closeted and hates himself. That first kid was weird though. He starts talking about Freemasons.
Nah, this guy's a retard.
Oh yeah, 100%. Yeah. Yeah, some of these
people
are
that just like hate cops for like no reason. It's like you
yeah.
know, you've just been told that by everybody. Just like,
they're just like regular people just standing there and you're just squaring them up.
For no reason, but you've been brainwashed pretty much. I just thought that was cringe. When people would say that. People would say that in my school all the time. Just
Yeah.
was cringe.
I didn't say that over there. There wasn't a sentiment over there.
For some reason, people think it's cool to have that view, I guess.
He's sucking oxygen on stage. look at him, dude. He has that like white, like the pale tube or the see-through tube around his fucking face. I like how it says overweight rapper. This guy's not overweight, man. This guy's like the biggest thing I've ever seen. Wait, is he?
Who's this?
Wait, he's not even singing. He's a lip sync.
Right.
Some random woman. That's like
that's being trespassed from a
he's just
Jaden
store
Smith
and walking
is so
across.
funny.
Oh yeah, it is. Tito Anise denounces Marcus Manifold, aka the Marxist. I gotta see this.
Wait, I didn't see
It's
this
just
one.
one of those things that I think the Americans here need to really come together and stop letting the socialism try to come in, because it is. They're doing it. And this is literally a Marcus Manifold that they're using, man. It's crazy how they're using
Marcus Manifold.
Marcus.
Oh my god.
So there you go. The end. Deal with it.
Anytime Tito talks
dickhead.
about politics, it's fucking hilarious.
Oh yeah, it is.
You see that to get united,
Tito 2021
we
is a
stand
wacky
together, we will not fall, or whatever. That one's so funny. Wait, you didn't see that?
Probably did, just don't
Wait, no
remember.
way.
I don't know
Let me
though.
find this.
Or not. If I told you a year ago that you'd be boxing Anderson Silva, what would you have said to me?
I love this one.
I said actually that probably.
I think I sent this one in general. Like a week ago or something.
You posted?
No, I'm talking about the one you're watching.
Oh, okay.
It would happen, but what's going on in 2021, I would have never thought it was happening is going on. My mind has been blown. But once again, it's American. We got to keep fighting, right? We got to keep fighting, keep our head up, and just put our chin down. And that's what I'm gonna do on Saturday night.
It's like he's like, yeah, I could see that happening, and then he's like, I would never imagine that happening.
I look at that. It's funny because I talked to my girlfriend Amber about this, and people from India, they really have great respect for each other. They have no racism. It seems like my friends who are Indian, and not Indian here from from United States, but India from India, that there's really no racism. They care about each other. They care about each individual of respect, and I think that's what really matters.
He's just so wrong. He's just so wrong. They have like a caste system over there, which is like really funny. And there's like one where it's like, they're like the bottom one where it's like you clean shit or something. It's like super fucked up. It's like they have a caste system, bruv. It's like, yeah, really, like, there's no. They invent it, it's like, okay, like race, okay, like you can see a black guy or whatever. You can see skin color. They invented a system. It's like it was not even real. Yeah, probably not like in India is whatever. Oh, this song?
I posted it, by the way.
Okay.
The United We Stand one.
I don't think I've seen this one.
No way, really?
Yeah.
I take a lot of slack from people
Yeah,
saying that you're a sellout. You know what? I'm not a sellout. I'm an American. And at the end of the day, united we stand, and divided we will not fall.
It's so wrong. Like, it's not. He thought he was clever for saying that, but it just doesn't mean anything.
Man, it means the opposite. Divided? Why would you not fall divided? Wait, you're meant to fall on the
It's like the whole point of like the snake being cut up. It's like we have to, we have to be united. He's like,
fucking hell. I'm thinking this guy has a brain damage. But yeah, I've just been watching a bunch of these cop videos.
Of what?
Cop videos.
What was that? When you were the Troll Arc anthem or whatever?
I was just.
Oh, it was just that the one that plays in his backgrounds.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Where is it?
I'm just thinking of the kid screaming.
Yeah, I was watching that today. Actually, that's a funny thing.
It's good to go back to like once every few months.
Yeah, it's a really good video.
I'm the leader of the clan.
I'm the leader of the clan.
Bro, you've been watching a lot of these. Jesus.
I have. I was just really. I was addicted.
I watched like one back in July because Action Man was watching it. I was like, what the fuck is this? I clicked on his stream for a second. He was watching one of these.
Oh, when the sister spawns in, so the sister calls.
The ones that are charging everybody with.
This sister
So you can go there, and you can follow an IPRO request.
was wild.
Sorry, the nurses are calling back, but I will file a request.
So that's her on the phone, and then she spawns in the hospital.
You remember
specifically, like.
After beginning to give information about the incident to the officer, the suspect's sister interrupts.
I'm sorry, he's not in a place to talk to police officers right now. My name is Annie. I'm his older sister.
That's fine. The sergeant is here also. I'll go.
Yes, sir. Hi.
Are you the one who was just on the phone?
Yes.
Yes, okay.
Yes, sorry.
Are you the police sergeant?
I am.
Hey, are you the police sergeant?
I am, sir.
I'm sorry. No, not right now.
He wants to talk to the police. And she's like, no, fuck off.
Talk to me again.
No, sir. He cannot. He has a concussion. I'm so sorry.
He can make own decisions. He's an adult. Yeah, I understand that. So if he wants to take
He's my little brother.
Doesn't she want him talking to him? What?
Because she thinks she can handle the situation better, I guess. just what happens. Watch what happens next.
Just there's a little lie. He was against the door. Doesn't remember anything.
He's not in a place to talk. I'm so sorry.
Did I close the door on him? Just like in this black room. Shut up.
I'm so sorry. He has a concussion. The doctor can see him. After the doctors tell me what's going on with him, then he may see.
Do you have power of attorney over him or what?
Do
you have power of attorney over him or what?
Dude, she does the head tilt, and then her mouth just opens.
Do you have power of attorney over him or what?
She like Bug Champ's breath.
Do you have power of attorney over him or what?
Breath too. Bug Champ. That's the new Bug Champ emo, man.
When he's an adult, he can make those decisions.
He has a concussion. I'm sorry. I was called from work. I'm a teacher here, and I was called. My little brother was hurt, and now he's here in a hospital without a parents, and
She's crying.
Please talk. Hi, are you the doctor? No, I'm the nurse. Can we get someone to tell him he's not in a place to talk to?
She's actually crying. What is happening? By the way, we don't even know if that guy, the guy that's in the hospital bed, we don't even know if he's like faking the injury. Actually, he's probably not faking the injury just because in the thing. But in terms of pinning the blame, he said that the police, like a bunch of police officers, started mauling him, and that's just not what I see in the video. But the video could be cut, to be fair, so I don't know. But the police seemed really restrained. They didn't seem like they were like fucking pulling out batons and just like smashing people. I thought that was really funny. I thought that was really funny, just her closing the door. The room is pitch black and he's like, no, you're not talking to them. It just locks him in. Oh, that's so funny. Is she she looks like she's laughing, by the way, with the way her face is shaped. But seeing how crazy people, I couldn't believe how crazy people are actually. There was I think it's this, the privileged princess one.
I'm his caretaker.
But there's multiple.
So, yes, I am.
Yes, I am.
Very quickly if she doesn't.
When they get arrested, it's so funny because they switch up so quickly.
Yeah.
What are you doing?
Why did they arrest her?
Because she's in a car that she's not supposed to.
Oh,
okay. Her dad's like, alright, you need to get the fuck out. Apparently she was...
like she does drugs, bro, I'm not gonna lie.
Oh, she does.
Yeah.
She quit her rehab.
Oh, this is like stuff in the video?
Yeah.
That they're talking about? Yeah, I could just like look at her and like tell.
I can't tell. I'm just not around those people. So I'm not really familiar with that. It's like, and she's just like a regular woman to me. That's a little bit weird. He's mentally handicapped. They do a bunch of weird tech with the seatbelts.
trying not to close the door. Jesus.
Listen, if you try to hurt us again, you're either end up being tased.
Me hurt you? You guys hurting me. You guys actually assaulted me. You grabbed me and then she touched my breast for no reason. So I don't really know. So if you touched me inappropriately as well on my skin, you know that you don't need to contact me like that. I was in handcuffs already.
And listen to what I'm
My
telling
hands were behind my back. You know, you should
Some people don't know when it's over.
You should have not been
Yeah.
not with her and doing it.
You know, I like debating, but I'm not debating the police officer on the other side of a fucking what would you call these bars or whatever.
I don't remember.
You're embarrassing me in public. You're actually kind of. It's libel. It's a lot of libel.
Listen, you're embarrassing. We're going to open the door.
I don't even know what libel means.
If you fight
Liable, like being the reason for cause, or like you own it, I guess. But like, I don't know how to explain that. Like if you're liable for something, you have the obligation of dealing with it, I guess.
Right,
Like
but they're talking
responsibility.
about liable as in like an actual crime itself.
She was saying it, right? Was her saying? Like you're liable.
I thought she was saying as in like that's a type of crime, and I've heard that being spoke of as like an actual type of crime.
Oh, libel. Wait, Libel.
I don't know how it's spelled. I'm just going off of how it's spelled. I know like what liable for damages. I don't know what that
Right,
means.
I thought you know, I was like kind of confused, but libel is different. I thought she was saying liable for like what she was saying they were doing to her, but I guess she said libel like the other one. Remember what it means, but looking it up.
Oh,
I guess,
this one was insane.
It's October 2023. Officers have gotten a call about a Victoria's Secret order that was delivered to the wrong house. The woman says she knows the package was delivered to this address because of the confirmation photo, but the woman inside allegedly refused to give it back.
So I came here. So this is, and I wouldn't care, but it's like $400 worth of stuff. It won't show up, but so that's their front porch. There's the package. Okay.
That little black thing right
there. And so you can't get to their front porch because it's gated off. So I went to the side door and I knocked. A younger girl came to the door, probably close to my size, and I asked for it. They gave me all these. We weren't even home. Blah 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 blah. And then she said, okay. I said, well, I'm gonna call the police. She goes, well, you can call Victoria's Secret. And I never once said where it was from. I just said a package.
They fucked up, bruh.
Wait, what?
Oh yeah.
She said, so they got a box, and she thinks they stole it because the courier sent them a picture of the package being left with the neighbors. She knocks on the neighbor's door, and she says, oh, have you got a package for me? And they said, no, we haven't got any Victoria's Secret. Wait, how the fuck did you know it was Victoria's Secret?
Oh yeah, I see. I didn't hear. It's like kind of quiet.
Right.
So I didn't hear that part.
Like, let's see if it shows the.
I don't know why. Like your streams are so quiet. I have it like max volume always.
All of this stuff. It's $400 worth of stuff. Okay. So.
$400 worth of Victoria's Secret.
Hello.
What are you doing?
I'm alright. So she has a package that got delivered here and she went back. So she has pictures that the package was in fact delivered here and it was sitting right on your porch.
That's what she said.
Okay.
I was in bed till 12 o'clock this afternoon with my dogs, and as you can see.
So what happens at the end? I gotta show you what happens at the end. It is so...
Did they end up finding that she had it?
Oh, actually, wait, let me just play the video.
And they were in bed.
At least this first part, and then I'll skip to the end.
So, I believe if the picture shows that the package was here, I believe her. The picture shows that it was here. But I do not know anything else.
All right, who all lives here?
My daughter, me, and my husband.
Okay, would you mind bringing them in also?
My husband.
Hello.
Okay, they
Does anybody
summon
have
him.
any idea about this package?
I feel so bad for this man.
100% got delivered here. We have pictures.
Because you know he not stealing Victoria's Secret. Like, you know he not involved, man. Like, why you getting man involved? Man, he wearing got yellow socks, man. But no man with yellow socks getting Victoria's Secret.
Got delivered here at some point.
No, when we got home, there was nothing here. I don't know. Answer his question. No, I was in bed till now.
Okay, so what's gonna happen is.
I mean, he could have stole it and sold it.
If you guys did take it, so just give it
Yeah,
back. If you
he
don't,
totally
I'm
could
gonna
have.
report all three of you.
But just look at him too. Just don't look like a robber, man.
be listed as suspects. So what's gonna happen? There's a Ring doorbell right over there. So I'm gonna go knock on that door and figure out who came out and picked up that package. And whoever did that's gonna get charged with theft, okay? And that's $400 worth of stuff. So either we give it back now, nobody gets in trouble, or I figure out who stole it and they're gonna get charged. That's what we're doing.
Okay.
Okay? That's how we're gonna handle this?
If we find it and we know who took it, it will be returned.
And that's not how we're handling this. We find out who took it, they're being charged with theft. Okay? We're not doing this, oh, you got me, I'm on camera, I took it, I'm gonna give it back now. They're gonna be charged with theft. I will arrest them for theft. I'm not playing around. Okay? So either give it back now, or I'm listing all three of you as suspects. Okay. Driver's license. All three of them.
As the family files into the house, the officer makes a prediction.
Oh, he does the narrative.
I'm kind of waiting to see if they come out with the object and be like, oh, you know, here it is. All right.
What do you say? What do you say?
I'm kind of waiting to see if they come out with the object and be like, oh, you know, here it is.
Yes, he said, I'm waiting to see if they come out. Oh, here it is. Dad immediately comes out. Packages on the way.
Do that?
Oh, package.
Yeah.
Handle it this way.
I totally agree. He's so pissed.
It was open.
Not to doubt anything, but I'm gonna have her check to make sure all contents are in there.
Definitely needs to do that.
Okay, perfect.
And if there is anything, I mean, we can compensate if that's what needs to be done.
That will be between you guys at that point.
I was made aware that. Other than that, I don't know.
Okay.
We had nothing to do with this.
All right, thank you. She's gonna make sure that all stuff is in here.
Yeah. I'm gonna go sort of in the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. This is one item together. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10.
So you're missing about 5 things?
5 items.
Okay. All right, she's missing about 5 things.
Okay, so I'm gonna skip to the end.
5 things.
Wait until you find out
so
what
it was
happens
obviously
at the
the
end.
daughter, right?
Yeah. Yeah,
So
it's around here.
can you give me like the rundown on what everything else was?
It was just a bunch of I didn't do it. You know, I didn't do anything. I don't do it because they're trying to find the 5 extra items, and they find 4 out of 5 at this point. Just wait until just wait.
They're law enforcement, Megan. They're not here to sugarcoat it. He's probably not mean at all.
Mean or not, it's time for Stowers to go to jail.
All right, so she still wants a desired prosecution for the 1 item that's missing.
Are you kidding me? I don't have Listen.
The thing is, we had to go through all of this just to even get the package
I
back.
told her where to check. No, I told her where to check. No, don't take me in. No, wait. What if we, no, don't let go. Oh, God, I won't.
Well, we're past
Ma'am,
that.
ma'am. What if I paid? Help, you're hurting me. What if I paid for it? Mom, no, hey, let go. Okay, what is going to happen? Is this the underwear you gave me, Mom? For how long? Ma'am, isn't it? Ask her if it's a pink pair of underwear. Ask her if it's a pink pair of underwear. Ask her, I'm wearing them.
Bro, what the fuck?
Ask her if it's a pink pair of underwear. I'll take them off. Mom, no, Mom, you gave me a pink pair of underwear. Does that come in on the package?
Bro, she's like 30, dude. She's like
I know.
way older than I thought she was at first.
And she's like 40.
I'm thinking like mid-30s smoker, like heavy smoker. But I can't imagine a 40-year-old still living there. Like, what the hell? I would not be surprised.
She's wearing them though.
Yeah.
Oh my God! Help me, Mom! Can you please tell that lady my mom gave me the pink pair of underwear? Ask her if those are it. Ask her before you.
He's wearing like 7 layers of makeup too.
Yeah.
Just can't even.
Stowers was booked for misdemeanor theft. An update on any court hearings was not available at the time of this recording. Now to Fort Lauderdale, Florida, specifically.
I didn't even see this last one. This one, like, this one woman comes out. I don't really know what happened. She just starts screaming the N-word.
What, really? Show me this real quick. I gotta go like really soon.
Oh, you want to see this?
Yeah, I want to see that part.
So you'd have to send it to them if we locate the name? Jeez.
Now, you gotta be even more concerned when you're driving because you don't know the person that's on the road.
Oh, here we go.
Ooh. Oh, yeah. Yo, lady, we don't speak that here. What are you saying? Are you kidding me? In the airport?
Oh, this is the thumbnail.
In public? You said the N-word? Are you serious? You're yelling that here. No, go. No, you're gonna go. No, you're gonna take your big answer. Get that freaking 3-pound suitcase. Excuse you, that's your. Go get it. Get downstairs, lady. Get downstairs.
I can't carry it.
No, get your
I love how this woman speaks.
Yeah.
No, get. No. Put your hands behind your back. Put your hands behind your
This
back.
is one of the. How are you this unhinged at
Excuse you.
as an adult?
Put your hands behind your
Right.
back.
I don't know.
Are you just screaming the N-word in an airport? It's the year 2024. Yeah? People are not dealing with that.
Nobody cares right now because you're acting like a lunatic.
No one cares right now. She needs to be told that.
Racist, derogatory terms in the middle of an airport. No.
No one gives a fuck.
Yeah, I'm going to. Can we have another unit come over here? I'm gonna need transport for a.
Like, bro, if you just like calm down, like they're gonna let you go. They're not gonna fucking take you to jail for.
Yeah, you
much
can't.
time if you just behave, like just whatever.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, they just start freaking out. Like, yeah, I just started acting like a complete unhinged.
Well, not before you started yelling. You know what you just said? No.
She's staying it still.
Yeah.
You got the wrong culture, lady.
And she started saying some racial slurs against the lady. And she got the wrong culture. It was really funny.
What are you trying to say? You have ID on you? No. Well, yeah, I'm gonna find your.
I got her. Just tell them we're at door 323.
Man, the Xbox Live Party talk does not work in real life.
Airport. This isn't terminal.
Yeah, wrong map, man. So the man, she's thinking.
To see your family and your dying mother. That you missed your flight. And
Oh, I like this. I like this lady. What the fuck are you doing?
I could not carry it, and I just knew.
This blasted drunk.
So that I can see my mother
You can
and my
terminate the
boys
area
again.
and slow the units down. We have.
Jesus Christ, this one woman entitled Ohio woman gets tased after allegedly ramming police cars. Okay, that sounds really funny. But I know you have to go, so I'm not gonna put another one on. Wait, what is sovereign citizens? What does that mean?
Sovereign. I've heard that so much.
Sovereign citizens?
Like,
what is sovereign?
I've heard that so much. I feel like I learned that in school, but.
Sovereign citizens believe that courts have no jurisdiction over people, and that that certain procedures, such as writing specific phrases on the bills that they do not want to pay, and loopholes can make one immune to government laws and regulation. Oh,
Most
wow!
people existed, but I mean, I guess everything kind of
Alright.
exists.
I'm gonna go.